482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here, star of CJ and Company, and Saints fan to beat the band, thank you. For more music, more money, and more fun, check out CJ and Company, mornings from 5:30 until 10 on your Q93. And if you missed the show lately, you missed Telltale Thursday. Shaniqua's on line 5 here. Hey, Shaniqua.
Hi, CJ.
¿Qué pasa, baby? What's happening?
Okay, my best friend is dating her sister's husband. Now, her sister is about to have a baby in November, but she's 2 months pregnant. But that's nothing. He has a boyfriend, and only a playboy. Yes.
No, I didn't hear you right.
Yes, you did, homie. You did hear me.
You said he has a boyfriend.
He has a boyfriend.
Oh, we gotta say it together, Monica. Ooh. So don't you dare miss it, because there's never any telling what I may do next. CJ and Company, mornings 5:30 until 10 on your Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
Back to the Louisiana Superdome. Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson in the Saints pregame show. And CBS sports commentator Jack Buck is our guest. And, Jack, you've had a busy weekend.
We were in San Diego yesterday. I think it was San Diego. Rolled in here to New Orleans I got to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. Looked like San Diego and Kansas City both yesterday trying to play for a scoreless tie, and then finally San Diego broke through. I thought Kansas City looked awful for a playoff team. They didn't show any verve or any vitality. They only got as close as the 42-yard line. They kept Lowry out of the game altogether. I don't think that'll happen here because both of these teams have a lot of spirit in the home crowd here with the Saints. And then, of course, whenever you play a team that has a Cunningham, there's going to be action. We know that.
You've seen the Saints on a Monday Night Football game and also Philadelphia on Monday Night Football as well. Match them up for us. Tell us what you think will happen.
I don't think either team will be able to run. And I know that the running back, Herschel Walker, gained over 1,000 yards, but I don't think he'll be able to run against the Saints. I'm really not impressed with him with regard to the running game and breaking plays. I think Byers is the key man for Philadelphia, he and Cunningham. And if Cunningham is inclined to do some running, it's going to be tough for those outside linebackers. And Jackson and Swilling might take themselves right out of it because that Cunningham doesn't hesitate. And in a game like this, he goes crazy. He just takes off and starts running. And so it puts it squarely on the shoulders of Hebert and his receivers. I don't think the receivers can afford to drop the ball. You watched earlier today with Houston. That's the thing about them. They never drop the ball. And I know that the Saints lately have not been very kind to their quarterback. That's going to be very important because if you give the Eagles an extra chance, they're going to jump on you. I think the Eagles are to be beaten here today. I kind of look at them as the favorites going in.
If it's a field position ball game, do you think the Saints might have an advantage with Morton?
Yeah, but Ruzek is not a bad kicker. He can put it up there. I really think it gets down to the two quarterbacks. And after all, who knows what in the world's going to happen in a game of this sort. Somebody runs a kickoff back for a touchdown, and there you go. The whole game turns around and it's different. And, of course, it always gets around to mistakes, penalties, fumbles, interceptions. But the two quarterbacks are both under the gun. And I think the two things that I mentioned. One, the New Orleans better not drop any balls. Good throws from Hebert. And two, they better stop Cunningham and keep a very good eye on Byers on third down.
You're as busy as ever these days, right?
I love it. We have 2 games next weekend. We're in San Francisco and Dallas. As long as I can remember where I am, I should be able to do my job.
Jack, thank you very much. Our pleasure, and thank you for joining.
Thank you. I'd like to hear you do that imitation again.
We'll do it today if we're ahead.
All right.
Well, we may be doing that later on today, guys.
I'd like to hear that, too, if those are the circumstances.
I wouldn't mind it myself. And we'll have more pregame in just a moment. This is the Saints Network. Hi, football fans. This is Dave Garrett for your local Popeyes and the Saints Network with news of how you can win free Saints playoff tickets each week throughout the playoffs thanks to Popeyes Saints Super Sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Come into any participating Popeyes restaurant and pick up a registration form. Fill it out and mail it in. It's just that easy. Home game winners will receive 4 free game tickets, a complimentary tailgate party, and will participate in the Popeyes Pop of the Game pregame presentation. Road game winners will receive 2 free game tickets, airfare, accommodations at the team hotel, and $200 cash. There's a winner every week while the Saints are in the playoffs, and you can enter as many times as you like. And even if you haven't been one of the weekly winners, you're still eligible for the grand prize, which is an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 26 in Pasadena, California. So sign up now for the Saints Super Sweepstakes from Popeyes. There's still time for the best seats in the house. From your friends at Popeyes and the Saints Network. See store for details.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
When you're spending hard-earned money on electronics, appliances, and home office equipment, it's good to know there'll always be a store you can trust. Sears Brand Central. You can count on more top brands, more service people, affordable credit options, and most important, a name backed by over 100 years of quality, integrity, and constant good values. No wonder more people buy more top brands from the store they trust. Sears Brand Central.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
It's noisy in the Dome, but it's good to be home in the Dome for the playoffs, and it's time for the Southwest Airlines starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. Saints offense, wide receivers, Eric Martin and Quinn Early. The tackles are Richard Cooper and Stan Brock. Starting at guard today is Chris Fort. On the other side, Jim Dombrowski. Joel Hilgenberg will start at center. Bobby Hebert quarterback with Dalton Hilliard, Craig Hayward in the backfield. Saints on defense, Wayne Martin, Jim Wilson, Frank Warren across the front line. It's the Pro Bowl group, Jackson, Mills, Johnson, and Swilling at linebackers. The corners are Troy Cook and Reggie Jones, and Keith Taylor and Gene Atkins will start on defense. The inactives today, the backup quarterback is Steve Walsh, and backup centers, Gene McGuire, is on the inactive list. Eagles on offense, Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams will be the wideouts. Ron Heller and Anton Davis are the tackles. Ryan Baldinger and Eric Floyd are the guards, and David Alexander is the center. Randall Cunningham is the quarterback, with Heath Sherman and Herschel Walker in the backfield. One change on the Eagle defensive line. Mike Pitts will not start at left side tackle. Right tackle, Andy Harmon will take his place, and backup Mike Golick will get the start at right tackle today. Reggie White at left end, and Clyde Simmons at right defensive end. The linebackers are Seth Joyner, Byron Evans, and William Thomas. Cornerbacks Mark McMillan and Eric Allen, Rich Miano and John Foodie are the starting safeties today. And there you have today's starting lineups, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Do we have a final in the Buffalo game today?
41-38. A field goal by Steve Christie of 31 yards, one of the great comebacks in NFL history. You see the heart of a champion, the heart of a Super Bowl performer in Buffalo and Washington, what they've done in the last 2 days.
So Buffalo escapes with a win today in overtime, and that's today's pregame show. Now stay tuned for the kickoff and playoff football with the Saints and the Eagles coming up next on the Saints Network.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy one round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include local airport taxes up to $12 round trip each. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
Recently, Motor Trend magazine named Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 Truck of the Year. But considering the fun most people have driving it, it could be the thrill of the year. So now, in honor of the holidays, your Jeep and Eagle dealer is hosting a holiday toy sale. Check out Grand Cherokee, plus save on every Jeep vehicle in stock. Don't miss it, and don't miss the toys that never stop being fun. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Party Caribbean style at the Isle of Capri Casino, Mississippi's largest. The Isle is always open for non-stop fun and excitement with live entertainment, free admission, and free parking. So come to the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. It's a tropical paradise. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
This radio station is your official source for the latest information on the New Orleans Saints as they go through the battles of the gridiron season here in the National Football League. Daily on many of these stations, you can hear the Saints Today, a look at the Saints organization with comments from players, coaches, and others that make up the Saints organization. The Saints Today is heard mornings on many of these Saints radio network stations. Then each afternoon, Clear Channel Sports proudly presents the Jim Moore Journal, a daily visit with the head coach of the Saints. David Garrett and Coach Jim Moore look at personnel, injuries, upcoming opponents, and a lot more. Afternoons on many of these Saints radio network stations. The Saints Today and the Jim Moore Journal, two daily sources of the latest on your New Orleans Saints. Heard on many of these stations from Clear Channel Sports on the New Orleans Saints radio network.
Welcome back to the Superdome, and we're ready for tonight's kickoff, or today's kickoff and play-by-play. The Saints hopefully looking to have a good night. The Eagles concluded their 1992 regular season in second place in the NFC East at 11-5 following a 20-10 victory over the Giants last Sunday at Veterans Stadium. The Saints, of course, ended the regular season with that 20-0 win over the Jets last week at Giants Stadium. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints Football.
CJ and Company in the morning.
The oldies All Request Lunch Hour. The All Request and Dedication Party.
93 in a row.
More money.
And now the Saints. You're listening to Q93, WQUE FM New Orleans, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
Everyone talks about keys to a ball game. Archie, really, if you stop Herschel Walker and Randall Cunningham's not able to scramble, is that the key for the defense?
Oh, I think absolutely. Of course, Herschel had some great success. Let me tell you, the Eagles had a great plan against the Saints opening day. We've talked about it was a close game, 15-13. With those numbers, though, 186 yards rushing, Herschel Walker 114 yards. They had a couple of new wrinkles, a couple of swing passes that the Saints were not ready for. They had a great plan for the Saints that day. And if Randall Cunningham hadn't left it on the ground about 3 times, it would have been a greater margin.
Dale Hamer is the referee, and here's the coin toss.
Heads is the call. It is a tail. Saints have won the toss.
And the Saints are 9-2 when winning the coin toss. Dale Hamer is our referee today. In fact, the entire officiating crew, if parents are listening. Dick Creed is the back judge. The umpires, Rex Stewart. Don Carlson, the side judge. The head linesman is Dale Williams. Bob Lewis is the field judge. And Jeff Bergman is the line judge. We have had this crew once before this year.
Hey, those guys are too old to have parents still living, aren't they? Now, let me tell you what John Pease told me before the game. I said, what kind of game do you expect? And he said, well, we probably won't hear the word finesse too often in this one. He says, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if in the locker room before the game we needed to issue bike chains and tire irons because it's going to be that kind of game down here on the floor of the Superdome today.
I don't look for either team to really take too many chances early. I don't mean they're not going to throw the football, but really, you've got two great defenses like this. They both got a good kicking game. You just don't go out and just turn it loose, try to do something to turn the ball over early, take a lot of chances early in the game. They want to both feel each other out, see how their defenses can work, and just try not to make the early mistakes.
One thing you'll see here, a change the Saints have made in their kickoff return game. They're going to send 3 people back deep instead of the usual 2. Vaughn Dunbar will be in the middle of those 3. They want him to touch the football at every opportunity on the kickoff. Ruzek primarily kicks the ball down the middle of the field. He doesn't have a great leg. Very seldom will he reach the end zone.
Bobby Hebert said something interesting to me before the game today. He said Vaughn Dunbar had really looked good in practice this week. So he just seemed so determined to run extremely hard. I wonder how much of him we'll see from the running back position.
Ruzek set to kick off from our left to our right. And the Saints will have the ball moving from our right to our left. And Dale Hamer, the referee, whistles this game into play. And it'll be Buford Jordan on the left, Patrick Newman on the right, and Vaughn Dunbar in the middle. But they disguised it until the whistle blew. And Ruzek is ready. He'll take a 10-yard run at the football. He puts his toe into it. And, folks, the playoffs are underway. The ball comes to Dunbar at the 8. to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Saints will have it 1st and 10 after the 21-yard return.
Well, a good job of blocking up front by the wedge. And, of course, Vaughn Dunbar takes the kickoff on about the 10-yard line. Good hard running straight ahead. Saints have excellent field position. Chris Port will start at the right guard spot. Derek Kennard on the sideline. We'll just wait to see if he gets any action today.
And we understand Port had a good week of practice and, of course, played that position last year in the drive to the NFC West. Only one running back behind Bobby Hebert, and that's Dalton Hilliard with Eric Martin split to the left as a flanker. Wide to the right is Quinn Early with 2 tight ends in the formation. Wainwright on the left, Brenner on the right, Hebert under center. A 6-man defensive front. 1st and 10 from the 27. Play action, fake handoff. Hebert's going long for Quinn Early at the 40-yard line, and it's overthrown at the 30.
Well, like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't expect anybody to take any chances early in the game today. Both teams will come out running the football.
Listen to this. They're getting a hand for an incompletion. They like the play action and the long pass on 1st down, complete or not. They want to see the ball go downfield, and they want the Saints to break that stereotypical conservative image.
And you never know where a play like this may loosen them up somewhat. Nothing fancy about the play. Now, look, here's something different for the Saints right here. They're in a triple I formation. Hobie Brenner in the backfield. He'll shift or go in motion here. Look for a running play to Dalton Hilliard.
Hilliard dotting the I with Craig Hayward, the middle fullback. Martin wide left and Quinn Early wide to the right. 2nd down and 10. Brenner in motion. Handoff goes to Hilliard, and he's tripped right at the line of scrimmage. A good defensive play. After a 1-yard gain, Rich Miano up from his strong safety position trips up Hilliard, a 1-yard gain. 3rd down and 9 for the Saints.
Miano playing in there for Andre Waters, who was the leading tackler on this team for 4 seasons previously and was leading them in tackles again before breaking his leg against Washington in Game 6.
Hobie Brenner lined up in the I formation, started in quick motion, then blocked. It was a good play by Miano. This is something the Washington Redskins do a great deal of, and the Saints have been working on it all week in practice, moving that tight end out of the backfield in motion, primarily for blocking. Here's shotgun formation now on 3rd down.
3 wide receivers to the left, only Torrance Small to the right. Craig Hayward, the block for Bobby Hebert, pointing things out on the defense. 3rd down and 9 from the 28-yard line. Hebert, low snap, back to pass, big rush, looks down the field, caught for a moment, dumps it off to Hayward, running room 30, up to the 35, 1st down to the 40, 45, he's up to the 50, inside the 50 to the 47-yard line. Oh, yeah. A 25-yard screen pass and scramble for Bobby Hebert. It was ad-lib for Hayward, who broke a tackle early and ran a lot late.
Well, the pressure was there early, but they just couldn't wrap up Bobby Hebert. I don't think he could really find anyone open. I don't think Craig Hayward was definitely not a primary receiver. It really wasn't a screenplay. Craig was staying in and really helping on the blocking up front. Everyone surrounded Bobby, didn't wrap him up, and then Craig just sneaked out. Boy, he made a good move, broke a couple of tackles, and got a big gainer for the Saints.
John Booty makes the tackle finally at the 47 in Philly territory. Hobie Brenner tied in on the left after a shift. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back. That running back, Hilliard, gets the handoff from Hebert, skates free of one would-be tackler across the 45 and gets to the 43-yard line. A pickup of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 6.
No surprise there. It looks like it's going to be extremely tough for the Saints to run the football. We did see Hobie Brenner shift from one side to the other. You're going to see a great deal of this today. A lot of motion, a lot of shifting. What the Saints are trying to do is create some confusion, but also dictate the force of their defense. Sometimes where the strong safety will be to stop the running plays.
In the slot to the right is Quinn Early. Wide to the right, Torrance Small. Eric Martin is wide to the left. Brenner, the tight end, on the right. Hilliard behind Hebert, looking at a 5-man defensive front. 2nd down at 6 from the 43. Small in motion from right to left. Long signal count. Hebert gets the snap, looks over the middle, throws. Caught by Early on a circus catch at the 34. 1st down, a 9-yard gain.
Well, that's a heck of a catch. He really went up and got that one as the ball was thrown high. John Booty is the free safety. They're missing both their starting safeties from earlier in the year. He's a converted cornerback, and he was way, way off the receiver, Quinn Early, but he still had to come down with a leaping grab.
Yeah, you'd like to get that matchup. John Booty, of course, has played some corner, but he's a free safety. But I'll say this, the Eagles did have a good pass rush right there. A lot of pressure on Bobby Hebert, forced him to throw it high. Quinn Early came up with the catch.
Actually, his forward progress down to the 33. It was a 10-yard gain for Quinn Early on the pass from Bobby Hebert. 3 wide receivers, first and 10 from the Philly 33-yard line. Man in motion from right to left, that's Torrance Small. Craig Hayward behind Hebert. Hayward gets the handoff, cannot pick a hole, and gets a yard, maybe 2, down to the 32, possibly the 31-yard line. It'll be second and long.
The Saints were in 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. The Eagles stayed in their 4-3 alignment on defense with 4 defensive backs. This has been the Saints' most popular formation over the last half of their season, and so many teams come with 5 defensive backs against that. On first down, the Eagles chose to stay with a 4-man front, 4 people in their secondary. Now they'll make a substitution on second down.
Second down and 9 after a 1-yard gain at the 32-yard line. Quinn Early is wide to the left, Eric Martin wide to the right, and split backfield behind Bobby Hebert with the tight end on the left side. Football right down the middle of the field. 5-man defensive front, back to pass. Hebert looks, he throws over the middle, wide open. Eric Martin at the 15, and he's tackled at the 13. First and 10, Saints inside the 15-yard line.
Well, post pattern there to Martin, who was again in front of John Booty. The Saints able to convert big on second and long, third and long, despite not being able to do a whole lot on first down here. This drive now is carried to the 13-yard line of the Eagles.
Well, you know, that was a zone defense, but Dalton Hilliard swung out of the backfield and occupied 2 linebackers. They both stayed short on him. Bobby made a good read. Nothing fancy about the play. Eric just breaks it in. The linebacker stayed short. Of course, as I said, Bobby made the right read, threw the break in, big game.
First and 10 from the 13 after the 19-yard pass to Eric Martin. Hobie Brenner shifts to tight end on the right. 2 wide receivers to the right. Torrance Small to the left. It's Martin and Early to the right. Behind Hebert is Ironhead Hayward, and there's a flag at the start of the play, and the Saints are going to be guilty of a delay of game. You may have heard the surge of the crowd right when the play clock ran out.
Well, that's one of the things Archie touched on, why the Saints
67 of the offense
were utilizing the stacked die and moving Brenner to one side or the other. You saw there when they motioned Brenner and then put him down on the right side of the line, the Eagles overshifted to that side immediately, and the Saints were running right into the strength of the defense.
A penalty back to the 18-yard line. It'll be first down and 15 yards to go from the 18 after the penalty. It was not delay of game, however.
It was Stan Brock who moved prematurely at right tackle.
So first down and 15 from the 18, the first penalty of the ball game. The Saints have 3 first downs with passes 25 to Hayward, 10 to Early, and 19 to Martin. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. 1 back behind it, Bobby Hebert, who's back to pass from the 18, looks over the middle, scramble for a moment, lobs one for Eric Martin in the end zone. It's over his head. And we have a flag in the end zone, interference on Mark McMillan, the left corner for Philadelphia. Saints will have it, we believe, first and goal.
Oh, that's going to be a great gift right there. McMillan's the little guy. He's only 5'7", 162, and Martin has a big advantage of him in size.
You know, the Saints say, though, no one's really been able to take advantage of his height. He had good coverage on Eric Martin. It looked like Bobby just threw that ball up. I believe he may have been throwing it away. McMillan was definitely pushing on Eric Martin, and they got the flag.
It's a 17-yard penalty, first and goal from the 1-yard line after the pass interference on Mark McMillan. 4 first downs. There are an H-back to the right, split backfield. Handoff goes to Hayward over right tackle. Touchdown, Saints. It's 6-0 with 9:20 remaining in the first period. Hayward gets the touchdown. Does he throw it into the stands? He has walked over to the right side bleachers and tosses it to the handicap section.
You know who sits over there, too, is the brother of Buford Jordan, who recently returned to the Saints. He sits in that section, and that's where Ironhead deposited the ball. I don't think he'll get a $1,500 fine for that one.
No, I don't think the commissioner can fine him $1,500 for doing that. Well, that was nothing fast. Saints have run some, even though they've had some shifting and some motion, a couple of their successful plays have been just old vanilla formation. That was just a lineup in the offset backfield. Dalton blocking, handoff to Ironhead, straight ahead off right tackle. He bulldozed his way into the end zone.
Barnhart to hold, Henderson to kick, ball down, kick in the air, in the Pointer Street end zone, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 9:20 remaining in the first period of play, and the Saints lead it by a score of 7-0. You're listening to Saints football. And now it's Shoetown and Quitting Fashion's clearance sale. Now in
Bill would like to sweeten your new year. We have over 50 new Oldsmobiles driven by Sugar Bowl officials that we are now offering at used car prices. Start your new year off right with Royal Oldsmobile, the dealership that's different, across from Lakeside Shopping Center in Metairie.
Looks like he's going to be out of the game.
If you just
got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology. From sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488.
It's Shoetown and Foot & Fashion's clearance sale, now in progress. All locations of Shoetown and Foot & Fashion are saving you 75% off all merchandise with green dots. Men's and boys branded athletic shoes by Nike, Reebok, and Converse, 75% off. Men's team caps and t-shirts by Nike and Salem, 75% off. Women's dress and casual shoes, 75% off. Save 75% off all merchandise marked with green dots at all Shoetown and Foot & Fashion locations.
If it's sports, you've got to know all the scores.
Baseball, football, hockey, and more.
If it's about the Saints, you want to know all the updates.
The decision makers, Jim Finch and the Jim Morris Show.
And who knows the Saints better than our favorite quarterback?
The Archie Manning Show.
Where can you get all of this and a whole lot more? Q93 sister station, Sports 1280 AM. Sports 24 hours a day. So while the other stations are reporting what they predict, hear it from the horse's mouth. Sports 24 hours a day. Only on Sports 1280 AM.
The Saints are on Q93.
Going to start this game, a good kickoff return by Dunbar, and then an 8-play, 73-yard drive. Takes 5:40 off the first quarter clock. It's capped by a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Ironhead Hayward. Along the way, Bobby Aber hits 3 out of 4 for 54 yards, and the Saints are on top 7-0 with 9:20 to play in this opening quarter.
Here's Morton Anderson to kick off. It's a high end over in kick taken by Sika Hemmel, 1 yard deep in the end zone, up to the 10, up to the 15, and he's blistered down at the 20-yard line by Buford Jordan. A 23-yard return, 1st and 10 for Philadelphia at the 20.
Also, James Williams returning to the lineup on the kickoff team, and the leading tackler for the Saints on special teams this year, made first contact around the 15-yard line.
This game brought to you by Tabasco brand products. Tabasco brand pepper sauce, 7 spice chili, and Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix. Like the Saints and this crowd, a Louisiana legend. It's hot in the dome.
And Saints fans asking them to bring the noise as they do early here on 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Brett Barnett is wide to the left. Calvin Williams in the slot to the left. Sherman and Herschel Walker in the I formation. Randall Cunningham gets the snap. Hands off to Walker. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and gets 2 yards to the 22. It's 2nd down and 8.
One of the things the Saints coaches were telling us before the game, this noise not only affects the passing game, it affects the running game. And right there, Arch, it looked like that snap was a little slower than the Eagles' offensive line was getting off the ball.
Oh, it definitely affects the running game. It's just hard to have total timing when you've got this kind of noise there. Also, Wayne Martin knifing down from his defensive end spot. That's an interesting matchup today on 1st down. Wayne Martin and their fine young offensive tackle, Antoine Davis.
Barnett to the left, Williams to the right. Keith Byers, the tight end on the right-hand side. From the 22, Cunningham to pass, dumps one off to Walker at the 20-yard line. Jukes Ricky Jackson, but does not fake out Ricky Jackson. He makes the tackle at the 23. A gain of 1, maybe 2. It'll be 3rd down and long.
And he got some good help there from Sam Mills. Ricky held his ground, made Walker stand up and look to make a move. By the time that he could make that move, Sam Mills was hitting him low and bringing him down along with Jackson.
Remember the first game of the year when the Eagles had some success on some swing passes? Defensive coordinator Steve Sidwell said he knew they had that play in their arsenal. They hadn't run it during the preseason. He really didn't have his people prepared for it. He said it won't happen again today.
That's how they scored their first touchdown in that game on the pass to Walker.
3rd and 7 from the 23-yard line. It was only a 1-yard gain. 4 wide receivers. A slot and a wide out to the left, and a man in motion, Roy Green, from the right to the left out of his slot. Cunningham from the shotgun to pass. He throws, it's batted, and incomplete at the 40-yard line. It may have been batted by Frank Warren.
Frank Warren with his hands aloft. He may have been the guy who was in on Cunningham, and Ricky Jackson was bringing him down around the ankles. That's a great opening stand by the Saints defense.
Well, you're exactly right, Jim, and I'd have to say things are going according to plan right now. It was Frank Warren who got his hands up for the offense to take the opening drive and go down the field and score, and then the defense come in 3 up and 3 down. That's the script they'd like to write.
Beagles to punt. His average 42.2, his long 68. Newman receives this long punt at the 18. Jukes a player, gets a block. 25, up to the 30, and spins to the 32-yard line. Another good kick return for the Saints. It was a 60-yard punt and about 15 on the return. Izell Jenkins makes the tackle. 1st and 10 Saints at their own 32-yard line. Timeout on the field, 7:25 remaining first period. Saints 7, Eagles fresh out. And now this for Popeyes and Ford Quality Care.
Getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Proud sponsor of Saints Radio, Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. Saints up 7-0, 7:25 remaining, first period.
And the Eagles this year have been a vastly different team on the road than they have been at home. They're 8-0 at home this year, 5-8 on the road, and suffered all 5 of their losses, I should say, on the road, 3-5. And they're a different team defensively. They average 9 points per game, did the opposition against the Eagles in Veterans Stadium. But on the road, they give up an average of 23 points per game.
Quinn Early in motion from left to right. Fake handoff, play action, quick pass over the middle, complete to Hobie Brenner at the 45, up to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints near the midfield stripe. 17-yard gain.
The Saints have had a lot of success with that play over the last few weeks. Nothing fancy about it, but it's just a fake to Dalton Hewitt, and it freezes the linebacker, Seth Jordan. Hobie Brenner does a good job of running his route, turning it to the middle. A good angle for Bobby Hebert to throw the ball, and Hobie does a nice job of holding on. Tackled by Miano.
It's an 18-yard pass. Brenner got the ball down upfield from the 49-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 at the 50. Torrance Ball wide to the right, Martin and Early wide to the left, one running back. Dalton Hilliard back behind quarterback Bobby Hebert under center, looking at a 4-man defensive rush from the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints, their 6th of the game. There's a handoff to Hilliard, hit at the 50, gets 2 down to the 48. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Tackle by Andy Harmon, the left side defensive end.
Nice play by Andy Harmon, but he's been a solid player for him this year, really taking the place of Jerome Brown there on the inside. He comes off the block of Chris Port. Looked like Dalton Hewitt had some running room, but he's there to make the stop. A little change on that play. The Saints came out in their 3-receiver, 1 tight end, 1 back set, and that time the Eagles did go to 5 defensive backs. They took a linebacker out, replaced him with a DB.
Saints have run on 1st down 4 out of the 6 first down opportunities in this game. Split backfield now behind Hebert with wide receivers left and right. Man in motion, Vaughn Dunbar out of one of the split back formations. He turns around, fake reverse, Hebert to pass, dumps it off to Dunbar, and Dunbar wasn't looking, but Hebert was about to be sacked and really just got rid of it. Incomplete.
Well, he didn't expect the ball that quickly. Remember in the Bear game, the home run they threw on a fake reverse to Eric Martin? That was it right there. And boy, Dunbar was wide open. Bobby got some pressure and just threw the ball low. He really didn't have a chance to step and throw it out there. Been nice to just hang it up a little bit, because Dunbar had big yardage.
Both Harmon and White had pressure on Hebert. Like you say, had that been completed, it could have gone a long, long way.
We still got to do a better. I know the first drive was successful, but the Saints have got to do a better job protection-wise.
Out of the shotgun, Saints are 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. Now Dalton Hilliard moves wide to the left, and there's 5 wide receivers.
Yeah, nobody in the backfield. This is new. This looks like what Miami was doing the other night. I hope the Saints have more success.
3rd and 8, Hebert being pressured, dumps it over the middle, threw it away, was trying for Dalton Hilliard crossing, but the ball went 5 feet over his head, incomplete at the 30-yard line, and Barnhart comes in to punt. The Eagles were 3 and out. On this possession, the Saints picked up a 1st down, but then could not convert on 3rd and 8 from the 48. Barnhart averaging 44 a punt and long of 62 this year to boot the ball.
Well, another new little wrinkle by the Saints, taking Hilliard, putting him out Side two receivers on the left side, no one in the backfield.
By Sikahema, deep to receive this punt. He leads the team in returns with 40 this year. Good snap. Nice spiral punt. Turns over inside the 5 and bounces into the end zone. A 48-yard punt and no return. A net of 28, and the Saints will come out on defense facing Philadelphia 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. With timeout, 5:37 left to go first quarter. Saints leading 7-0. And you're listening to Saints football.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been called witty, funny, irreverent, wild. I'm talking about CJ and Company, where there's never any telling what I may do next. CJ and Company, mornings and your number one, Q93.
Miles Text and listeners from Lake Dakota, South Central Region.
Car buyers, Ray Brett Nissan is Louisiana's #1 Nissan dealer and now #1 in the South, outselling all the other Nissan dealers in 18 states. Come see why tomorrow at Ray Brett Nissan's Clearance Center in Harvey, where the 93 Pathfinder's only $15,983. Or get the 93 Altima for $11,693.
Because it's time to expect more from a car.
1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. Ray Brett Nissan guns down the competition.
In New Orleans, there will always be snowball stands in the summertime. You can depend on it. And since 1883, New Orleans has depended on the Whitney National Bank. In a time when the financial stability of your bank is more important than ever before, more and more people depend on the Whitney. Our dedication to customer service and personal banking relationships has remained uninterrupted for more than 100 years. Stable, competitive, personal, the Whitney. With 32 Metro New Orleans locations to serve you. Member FDIC.
Sunday night on Q93. It's Sunday Night Oldies with A.D. Barry. Join us for lots of fun.
The Saints are on.
And that's where they started on their first drive. Sherman and Walker in the backfield. Randall Cunningham under center. Saints with 4 men on the defensive line. Handoff goes to Heath Sherman, and he knifes his way over left tackle. Gets 4 yards to the 24. It's 2nd and 6.
And the Saints said if they're to do a better job against the Eagles, the people in the middle have to do a better job than they did the first game. Speaking in particular, Jim Wilkes on the nose and also the 2 inside linebackers. So far, Ron Johnson and Sam Mills have been very active against the running game here today.
One of the coaches informed me if they start getting hurt on the run, they'll move Wilkes to end and move Les Miller in to the nose guard spot. They feel like that's really their strongest 3 against the run.
Barnett wide to the left, Williams in the slot to the left. Now Calvin Williams in motion from left to right. Myers is tight end on the right, fake handoff, a roll to the near side. Cunningham was stopped for a moment in the backfield, but jukes his way, fumbles the football. It's a loose football on the ground. The Saints have recovered unless the officials rule it down. Do they?
That's got to be the Saints' ball. Nobody said anything yet. It's theirs.
Cunningham fighting for extra yards, had it knocked away, and we'll look at the replay.
Well, they may change this right here. I think the Eagles are going to put up a good argument here that Cunningham was already down prior to the fumble.
But the first indication by any official was that it was the Saints' ball. Nobody blew that thing dead. Nobody pointed to the ground and said he's down here. Nobody had made a call. The first indication was that it was the Saints' ball.
Well, once again, as he did in the first game, Cunningham carrying the ball just out in his hand, tries to jump over a Saints defender. Well, his knees hit the ground, actually, I guess, before the ball came out. That was a pre-designed running play, kind of a bootleg action by Cunningham, but he did have 2 linemen out in front leading the play. The Saints were ready for it.
3rd down and 2 from the 28. Eagles are 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions out of the shotgun, and Byers in motion out of the backfield. Cunningham gets the snap, looks, is pressured, wants to run, upfield, crosses the 30, 1st down to the 35, stumbles, still running at the 40, and is tackled at the 43-yard line. A 15-yard gain in the Eagles' first down of the contest. Ricky Jackson, or rather Pat Swilling, up to make the tackle.
But you can already see Cunningham paying the price. They hit him hard on that previous carry. Pat Swilling looking to strip the ball all the way here as he chases him down from behind. Cunningham has taken a beating throughout the season. 60 times he's been sacked, and by the end of this game, he could lose some of the verve with which he's running here early because of this punishment that the Saints are giving him.
He sure is a great athlete, though. He really avoided a tackle of Sam Mills and Toy Cook on that play and picked up the 1st down. He's rushed for over 500 yards this year, which is not a great year rushing for him.
Cunningham changing to play at the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 43-yard line. Fake handoff, play action. Cunningham back to pass. He wants to go long down the field for Barnett. It's caught at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. A 57-yard scoring strike to Barnett.
Well, I tell you what, he put a lot of arm behind that. The Saints jumped into a bare defense, put 3 linemen down in the middle, brought a safety up. That means man-to-man coverage on the outside. Barnett's their best outside receiver, 1,000 yards on the season, 67 receptions. Man-to-man, he just runs right by Toy Cook. Let me tell you, Cunningham threw that ball a long way. Caught Toy looking in the backfield, and then Toy stumbled a little bit. I tell you, it was a perfect throw by Cunningham, though.
57-yard strike, the longest completion against the Saints this season.
Eagles to hold, and Roger Rujek, who is 40 of 44 on point afters to boot, and it's through for the extra point conversion with 3:22 remaining in the first period. This crowd is quieted on a 57-yard bomb to Fred Barnett. 3:22 remaining first period, 7-7 Saints and Eagles, and now this for BC Powders and your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers.
When your job gives you a powerful headache, you need the power of BC.
BC Power. In this auto body shop, you get a headache just walking in the door. BC Power in the powder, the power of BC. Somebody's hammering out dents over here or running a grinder over there, so there's always noise. BC Power in the powder, the power of BC. Then on top of that, there's fumes. Pretty soon your head starts pounding like a sledgehammer. You need something to see you through, something strong so you feel like new. Around here, there's headaches just looking for a place to happen, but BC knocks them right out. BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
When you need strong relief, BC stops pain fast.
The power of BC.
Use as directed.
Recently, Motor Trend magazine named Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 Truck of the Year. But considering the fun most people have driving it, it could be the thrill of the year. So now, in honor of the holidays, your Jeep and Eagle dealer is hosting a holiday toy sale. Check out Grand Cherokee, plus save on every Jeep vehicle in stock. Don't miss it, and don't miss the toys that never stop being fun. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Tune in later when Archie, Jim, and I pick the weekly Popeyes Pop of the Game winner. Each week we'll recognize the Saints player who delivers that Pop of the Game and announce the local charity that receives $500 in his name. Sponsored by Popeyes' famous fried chicken and biscuits. It was a 4-play 80-yard drive. It consumed 2:15. Extra point kick by Ruzek makes it 7-7 with 3:22 in the first.
Well, Dave, Toy Cook was beaten by Fred Barnett on the play, but also Gene Atkins, who I think is supposed to be in center field. He got caught up on the play action and really coming across to take the shorter route guy, the guy in the slot. Free safety should be back deep. Now, he's up there around the 30-yard line, and Cunningham just let that one go. It really wasn't a man-to-man. It was more of a zone. I think Gene Atkins, who's supposed to be deep middle, got caught out of position.
Here's Ruzek to boot with 3 deep to receive, and Vaughn Dunbar retreats 4 yards deep in the end zone, fumbles the ball, picks it up, puts his knee to the turf. It'll be 1st and 10, Saints at the 20 after the touchback.
Well, remember, much was made after the first game of the season when Barnett beat Toy Cook for a big touchdown in that game that sort of sealed it. Toy said he was just coming back after that long holdout and was looking forward to the rematch. So far, Barnett's gotten the better of him.
Well, I think Randall Cunningham did check off on the play. You could see him talking to several people. He checked in I formation to a play-action pass. And you normally think on that Bear defense that's when you got 3 linemen stacked over the guard, the center, and both guards. It's going to be man-to-man. But the Saints had 5 defensive backs in the game. Keith Taylor was up short. Toy Cook was beaten, but Gene Atkins should have been there to help him.
Bobby Hebert, 4 of 7 passing for 72 yards. It's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. 3 wide receivers, and Craig Hayward in the backfield behind Hebert. He gets the handoff, goes off right tackle, spins free of one would-be tackler, is still held up. He gets to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard game, we'll call it. 2nd down, 6 coming up.
Eagles do a great job of gang tackling. It looked as though Ironhead was going to be able to spin off the initial hit, get the end of the secondary, but linebackers and defensive linemen just continue to fight hard, hitting him, and he gets about 3 or 4. Good hard running, and Ironhead gets a break.
Yeah, that's their best pickup on the ground on 1st down today. But they've been doing a good job with their play action, as you've mentioned, throughout the year, despite not a lot of success on the ground on 1st down.
2nd down and 6 from the 24-yard line. Two wide receivers to the right. Eric Martin is wide to the left. One running back behind quarterback Bobby Hebert, who's under center. Torrance Small in motion now from right to left. Football at the 24. Hebert straight back to pass. Throws over the middle. Caught by Martin. Wide open at the 40. He's up to the 45. He's to the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints at midfield.
Well, we talked about the shifting and the motion on the part of the Saints causing confusion in the secondary for the Eagles. That's exactly what happened right there. As the Saints lined up in one formation with 3 wide receivers, brought a guy in motion on the outside, Eric Martin. Eric just went back to the middle. The linebackers got caught short again, wide open. There wasn't anyone within 10 yards of Eric Martin. Bobby, again, a good read, big gainer for the Saints.
7 first downs for the Saints. 26-yard pass to Eric Martin, who comes out of the lineup. John Booty was the man who finally brought Eric Martin down. Wesley Carroll, along with Torrance Small and Quinn Early. Now the wideouts with one running back behind Bobby Hebert, and that's Dalton Hilliard. Quinn Early in motion from left to right from the 50-yard line. Fake handoff, play action. Hebert jukes a player, dumps it off to Dalton Hilliard down at the 42-yard line. He fumbles, and the Eagles, I believe, have recovered. Rich Miano, I think, recovered the football at the 38 or the 39.
Well, bad break for the Saints. Again, a good first down call on the part of Carl Smith. Pretty good rush by the Eagles, but yet Bobby Hebert is able to dump it off to Dalton Hilliard. Dalton trying to get extra yardage, coughs it up. Eagles recover. Well, Reggie White got a good rush on the outside, but Bobby was able to step up inside of it.
Miano does recover, and the Eagles get the first turnover of the game to their benefit.
Looks like Dalton Hilliard may have hurt his right hand also. He's coming out. Dean Klein-Smith, Kevin Magnum, the training staff of the Saints, going to take a look at it. That really doesn't look good.
They get loud in the dome. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Sherman and Herschel Walker. That's Heath Sherman and Herschel Walker in the backfield. Byers in motion from right to left. Fake handoff. Cunningham to pass. Looks in the flat to the near side. Throws. Barnett headed left. The pass was right. Toy Cook defending. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you, if that's a better pass, I think Toy Cook intercepts it.
I agree with you 100%. Toy Cook was right there for the sideline pattern. Really read it all the way. Actually, the ball got tipped again. If it hadn't been tipped, I think Toy Cook would have been in great shape for an interception.
Les Miller comes out and Frank Warren in, replacing on the defensive line. With other replacements also for the Saints, it's 2nd and 10. Eagles at the 39-yard line. Score tied at 7. 1-2-3 on the scoreboard.
Looks like Saints are going with a nickel defense here on 2nd down. 5 defensive backs in. Mills and Johnson remain at linebackers.
Byers in motion now in the formation. Handoff goes to Heath Sherman. Stopped in the backfield. Jukes and gets back up to the 39-yard line. Maybe a yard to the 40 before Wayne Martin is there to make the stop. Sherman was stopped in his initial run and reversed and went left and then was stopped again.
Yeah, Saints really ready for the play. Of course, you remember in the Buffalo game where the Saints went with their nickel defense so much, and Buffalo really exploited it with runs. Eagles trying to do the same thing, but the Saints are ready for it. Now, this is where you want to get the Eagles, and a 3rd and long come with the rush.
Eagles are 1 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. 52 seconds remaining first period. Score tied at 7. David Alexander is the center. Randall Cunningham at quarterback out of the shotgun with 2 in the backfield along with him. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cunningham to pass, pump fakes, looks long once again, way down the field for Barnett, and it's overthrown and incomplete. That pass was intended for Calvin Williams, but 10 yards overthrown.
Totally confused Randall Cunningham on the play. Pat Swilling, usually rushing from the outside, was in the middle as a stand-up linebacker. Him off the line. He did rush. Wayne Martin dropped off the line and back in coverage. Cunningham looking to the middle. Totally confused. Looked like Byers was open out in the flat. Cunningham didn't find him. He saw a defensive end downfield, just threw it away.
Jeff Beagles to punt. His first one was for 60. He averages 42.2. Newman calls for fair catch at the 11-yard line and receives the fair catch. It's a 49-yard punt and no return. Don't forget our Pop of the Game selection coming up later today when Archie, Jim, and I select the outstanding hit of the contest. There's 25 seconds remaining first period. Score tied 7-all.
It's amazing to see the strength of Cunningham's arm, though, isn't it? I mean, he threw that ball away 60 yards downfield with a flick of a wrist.
He sure did. It didn't even step. He's there. He didn't know where to go. He said, let me get rid of this thing. And you're right. Just flat-footed. Just flipped that thing about 60 yards. I tell you, he threw that ball a long way to Barnett a while ago. Play action pass. He stepped up. He really does have a strong arm. You know, at that quarterback competition we had a couple of years ago over in Hawaii with the current players and the former players, I think he threw about 76 yards. He nipped me by about a half a yard, I think.
Yeah, but yours were cumulative with 10 throws.
No,
wasn't that the
I threw it twice.
Twice.
Quinn Early and Eric Martin wide to the right. Torrance Small wide to the left. One running back. Hayward behind Bobby Hebert. Worst field position of the day to start a drive. 1st and 10 at the Saints 12. Hebert looks at a 5-man defensive front. Hand off to Hayward up the middle. He stopped after about a 2-yard gain. It will be 2nd and long, and I don't think the Saints will run another play here in the first period. Tackle made by Reggie White. 8th-year player out of Tennessee.
Yeah, Reggie just comes off the block. You can't be real encouraged at this point about the Saints running the football. I think Ironhead had 1 4-yard gain, a lot of effort on his part. And also, I don't feel great because Bobby's been proud, though he's hit a high percentage of passes. He's been pressured some in the pocket.
That's the end of the first period of plays. The clock expires, and we're just like we started, knotted up. Saints score first, but the Eagles come back on a 57-yard bomb to Fred Barnett. It's tied 7-7. Second quarter action coming up next on the Saints Network.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy 1 round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for 1 night. By the way, this offer doesn't include local airport taxes up to $12 round trip each. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
The Isle of Capri Casino introduces Caribbean Fun Spots. Collect Caribbean Fun Spots for more fun and more value. It's colorful, exciting, and very rewarding. Get your Caribbean Fun Spots at Mississippi's favorite fun spot, the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
This game is brought to you by Ford Quality Care, a proud sponsor of New Orleans Saints Radio. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Ford Quality Care. Second period to begin with the Saints 2nd and 9 from the 13-yard line.
After 1 quarter, the Saints had 7 first downs to the Eagles 2, 14 yards rushing to the Eagles 26, 108 net yards passing for New Orleans to 58 for the Eagles, but 57 of those in that touchdown strike to Fred Barnett. It allowed the Eagles to come back and tie it at 7-7 as we begin the second quarter.
3 wide receivers, Martin to the left, 2 others to the right. Craig Hayward behind Bobby Hebert under center, and Torrance Small in motion from right to left. 2nd and 9 from the 13-yard line. Hebert straight back to pass. Has time. Now may run with it. He's up to the 10, tucks it under, and is escorted out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Fans thought there may have been a late hit. He was actually out at the 15, but I think Hebert's momentum just carried him into several people over on the far side sideline. A 2-yard gain, 3rd down and 7 coming.
Word from the bench is that Dalton Hilliard has a pinched nerve and is probable to return.
Saints are 1 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. It's 3rd down and 7 from the 15-yard line, and Wesley Carroll will come into the lineup to replace Hobie Brenner with 4 wide receivers expected on 3rd and long.
Reggie White got a good rush to the inside that time, forced Bobby out to his left, and then, of course, he just ran out of bounds.
Hayward in the backfield, Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun, 2 to the left. Early and Martin wide to the right. It's Torrance Small and Wesley Carroll to the left. 7 men on the line of scrimmage defensively. Hebert out of the shotgun, being pressured, dumps it off to Hilliard again at the 20. Or that's Hayward at the 25, up to the 30, to the 31. It's a 1st and 10 for the Saints. Upfield, and a duplicate of an earlier play where Bobby Hebert dumped it off 16 yards upfield to Craig Hayward. Eric Allen makes the tackle.
Yeah, that's the second time today that Ironhead has really been able to bail Bobby out. Bobby with not a lot of time to throw, could not find anyone. Actually had a little time in there and decided to move, and just fortunately located Ironhead. Their linebackers had dropped deep into a zone coverage. Ironhead makes a couple of good moves and another nice first down.
Hayward has 2 catches for 41 yards thus far, and it's 1st and 10, the 8th first down of the ball game at the 31-yard line.
Well, you know what he's doing. Ironhead is just kind of chipping away at one of their linemen, helping out, and then sliding out for the pass.
Timeout has been called by the Saints and Bobby Hebert, who comes to the near side sideline. 13:40 remaining first half. We're tied. Eagles 7, Saints 7. You're listening to Saints football.
Looks like he's going to be out of the game.
If you
just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology. From sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488. There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
Q93, Fox 38, and Club Taboo are making you a star. If you missed it last week, don't miss it this week. It's the video shooting of New Orleans Jazz. It's New Orleans' fresh new video show that airs each and every Sunday at 5 p.m. on Fox 38. The best thing is that it stars you. You can watch yourself on TV and see the freshest videos out today. Join the entire Q crew Sunday evening at Club Taboo, 1600 St. Charles Avenue, for the taping of New Orleans Jam. You are a star. And remember, the camera doesn't lie. So we'll see you Sunday for the taping of New Orleans Jams with your number one, Q93. The Saints are on Q93.
When the Saints wanted a little home cooking for the home team, they chose Popeyes, because when it comes to feeding a hungry bunch of Saints, nobody beats the chicken, biscuits, and sides at Popeyes, a proud member of the Saints official training table.
David Hebert, 7 of 10 for 124 yards. The Saints have rushed him 8 times for just 16.
First and 10 from the 31. Fake handoff, play action over the middle to Quinn Early, caught at the 50-yard line, and then boom, he's hit hard at the 49. First and 10 Saints, a 20-yard gain. Quinn Early holds on after being hit hard by John Booty.
For that time, the play action did not have to freeze the linebackers of the Eagles because they were blitzing. So you've got a great situation at the playoff fake. All that's left is for the receiver to beat his man. And that's exactly what Quinn Early did, is he got a step on Eric Allen, their fine all-pro cornerback, right in front of the weak safety, and another good throw and catch.
Ninth first down of the game for the Saints. First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Eric Martin in the slot to the left. Quinn Early wide to the left. Torrance Small wide to the right. Craig Hayward behind Hebert under center from the 49-yard line. Four-man defensive front. 12:54 remaining in the first half. First and 10 Saints in Eagles territory. Hebert long signal count. Handoff goes to Hayward, left tackle. He stopped for a moment, gets loose, and gets down to the 45-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Second down and 6 yards to go.
One thing we've seen here so far early, Arch, maybe it's concentration, but the Saints receivers holding onto the ball much better than they have in recent weeks.
They really have, and they've been hit immediately after making these catches. Keep thinking the Saints are going to bust one here on the running play, but it looks like someone always just grabs them right around the legs. That time, middle linebacker Baron Evans, who's got extremely good speed.
Evans leading tackler on the Eagles squad with 152 total tackles. He also has 4 interceptions. First and 10 second down and 6 rather, from the 45-yard line. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Hayward behind Hebert. Again looking at a 4-man defensive rush. Fake handoff, roll to the left. Hebert on the play action. Gets a good block, will run. 45, 40, out of bounds at the 35-yard line. First and 10 Saints after a 10-yard gain, and Bobby Hebert on the scramble.
Well, the Saints might have gotten away with one right there. I'm not sure if it was Brock or Brenner. I think they clipped on Reggie White. After the play-action pass, Bobby's come out on a run-pass option. Yeah, White goes in pursuit. Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, he did hit him from behind. He can do that along the line of scrimmage. Bobby decides to just run and get good positive yardage. Saints got a good drive going.
Boy, that's taking a chance, isn't it, having your tight end go one-on-one against Reggie White?
Well, I think Hobie Brenner did have a good grip on the 9 of the front of the jersey of Reggie White. Reggie's complaining a little bit. I'm sure the official will be watching it.
10 first downs for the Saints. First and 10 at the Eagles' 35-yard line. Torrance Small wide right. Martin and Early to the left. It's still Hayward behind Hebert on the draw play to Hayward. 35 down to the 32. Maybe the 33. Well, they'll mark him down first. We'll call it a 2-yard gain. Second and 8 coming. Tackle made by Andy Harmon.
Now, that's a play the Saints don't run a whole lot, is the draw play. Another thing they don't run, which is often effective against a pass rush, is the screen pass. Although the way they've been dumping it off to Hayward as a safety valve, it's almost like running a screen.
Almost. Actually, what he's doing is helping to block and then sliding out, trying to get their linebackers to drop deep. Saints are staying primarily with their 3 wide receivers, setting 1 tight end. That's forced the Eagles to go with 5 defensive backs and just 2 of their linebackers in the game.
Hobie Brenner has dropped to an H-back, and now he moves to the tight end on the left side with Quinn Early wide to the right, Martin and Small to the left, Eric Martin in motion from left to the slot right. Hebert hands off to Hayward, off left tackle, inside the 30, down to the 29. About a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go.
The Saints are getting a little more out of their running game now. Not big hunks of yardage, but 4 is pretty good. You can stay on schedule right there. I think Carl Smith can stay in control if he's facing 2nd and 6, in this case 3rd and 4. Let's see if the Saints go to their shotgun formation now and throw the ball here on 3rd and 4.
It'll be from the 29-yard line. The Saints are 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. And they've both been big passes to Hayward, 1 for 25, 1 to 16.
And don't forget now, this puts Dunbar in the shotgun formation. He hadn't played a lot there. Dalton's primarily been the guy throughout the season.
Dunbar is in motion out of the backfield. That gives Saints 5 wide receivers a dump over the middle. Caught by Martin. He's hit hard, holds on, gets the first down to the 24-yard line. A 6-yard gain to Eric Martin down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints, they're 11. And even though the Saints are tied with Philadelphia, it's the Saints who have established the ground and air game today. Philadelphia's got all theirs on 1 big strike.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 is a situation where a lot of times, even though it's illegal, you see a pick play. On that particular play, Vaughn Dunbar in motion. Eric Martin was really supposed to pick, but he just slid on inside, and Bobby threw him the ball 1st down.
5 completions in a row for Bobby Hebert. That one's 6 yards to Eric Martin. Hebert with split backs now. Hayward and Dunbar. Hebert back to pass on 1st and 10. Big rush. It's batted as he throws the ball, and it falls incomplete as they were setting up the screen to the right.
Well, the 2nd time today, the Saints have just run a pure old vanilla drop-back pass with 2 backs in the backfield. You just very seldom see the Saints do that. You don't see many teams do that anymore. Came with the blitz. Ironhead stayed in, picked up his man, but there was some good pressure coming in there from Harmon and Reggie White. Then I think Seth Joyner just came around on the outside of Stan Brock, tipped the ball, and the Saints faced 2nd and 10.
Although that wasn't a sack, Joyner has 6.5 on the year to go with 14 for Reggie White and 19 for Clyde Simmons in this Eagles defensive staff.
Joyner will make some mental mistakes out there, but he's got great speed as a cover guy and a linebacker. He'll also run down a lot of plays. 5 backs back in for the Eagles.
3 wide receivers, 2nd and 10 from the 23. Hebert under center, straight back to pass. Oh, threw it right to one of the defenders, Byron Evans, who could not hold on. It was intended for Hayward, dropped by Byron Evans at the 22. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Saints.
Well, here we got Bobby and Ironhead going at each other a little bit. Bobby expected Ironhead to break it to the
2nd period of play, score tied 7-7. Saints are 3 of 4 on 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, what happens on that play? Ironhead's got an option. He really should hook up only on a zone. That was man-to-man, and he hooked it up.
3rd down and 10 from the 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right now. Eric Martin in motion from right to left. Bobby Hebert, shovel pass to Eric Martin to the 20, down to the 19, 18-yard line. It'll be a 4th down play coming up, and Morton Anderson coming in to boot a field goal.
I love prior to a game like this, you ask the coaches, you going to put in anything new? No, we're going to go mostly with the same basic package we've run all year long. We've seen the Saints run about 4 or 5 different plays on offense today than they've run at any time this season.
Well, they told me all the ones that are going to run today. I guess they just shut you out of them. I really started to call that one right there. By the way, they're going to run a little shovel pass to Eric sometime today.
Good call.
Morton Anderson comes in to attempt a 35-yard field goal. Angled to the left. We're in the Girard Street end zone with Tommy Barnhart to hold and Hilgenberg to snap. It's a low snap held down there by Barnhart. Morton Anderson's boot is good. That breaks the tie. He has 21 in a row. Morton does. 8:18 remaining in the first half. It's the Saints 10 and the Eagles 7. And now this for Ford Quality Care and Sears Brand Central.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
When you're spending hard-earned money on electronics, appliances, and home office equipment, it's good to know there'll always be a store you can trust. Sears Brand Central. You can count on more top brands, more service people, affordable credit options, and most important, a name backed by over 100 years of quality, integrity, and constant good values. No wonder more people buy more top brands from the store they trust. Sears Brand Central.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
For the most fun, let the good times roll at the Class of the Coast, the President Casino at the Broadwater Beach Resort in Biloxi. Free admission, plenty of free parking, and we're open 24 hours a day, every day. Las Vegas style fun. Come and go as you please. The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. 1-800-THE-PRES.
Proud sponsors of the New Orleans Saints Radio Network, your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, there's only one Jeep. Morton Anderson boots the 35-yarder that capped a 13-play, 71-yard drive that took 7:07 off the clock. And even though that was the 21st in a row for Morton Anderson, statistically it will not count as such because Jim, postseason play, you can't carry a streak into postseason play.
That's right, although he'll have that streak of 20 straight when next season rolls around. He'll be in hot pursuit of Kevin Butler's record of 24 in a row.
And it took 7:07 off the clock, and that time of possession is way in the favor of the Saints.
Very much one-sided, David. 16-29. The Saints have had the football to 5-13 for the Eagles.
Here's the kickoff from Henderson. Sikahema has it at the 2, to the 5, up to the 10, gets a blocker at the 15, then a good one-on-one tackle made at the 19-yard line by the Saints' Jimmy Spencer, an 18-yard return, and the Eagles will start inside their own 20.
You know, you guys mentioned Martin's streak. Doesn't count now that we're in a playoff game, but the fact still remains he's kicked 26 out of his last 27 attempts. That's fantastic.
I'd put him in the Pro Bowl.
Somebody did.
8:08 remaining in the second period. Saints up 10-7. They'll mark him down just upfield from the 19. So actually, that was a 19-yard return for Sikahema, and the Eagles have it just inside the 20-yard line. This is the Eagles' 11th offensive play coming up. Barnett for 57 tied the score earlier. High formation, back to pass, fake. Randall Cunningham was passing the ball right when he was hit by Saints defender Ricky Jackson, and he spiked the ball into the ground. It's ruled incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Well, that's supposed to be a double screen. Randall Cunningham drops back, fakes a little swing pass out to his left to Herschel Walker. Now he's going to throw the screen back to his right side to Sherman.
And the fans are screaming for either a fumble or intentional grounding, and it certainly looked to be intentional grounding. There's nobody near any receiver, tight end or wide receiver. No one's in that territory.
Well, Sherman is out that way for a screen. Ricky Jackson just came right around Anton Davis and disrupted the play. Outstanding play by Jackson.
2 wide receivers to the right, 2 tight ends, and only 1 running back. Sherman gets the handoff for the 20, and he's hit hard right there by Vaughn Johnson, right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and Vaughn helped him 2 yards by hitting him so hard.
Yeah, it looked like Sherman was going to have he had a big hole right there. It looked like he's going to be a good gainer. You know, we really hadn't seen those kind of licks by Vaughn Johnson in the last year or two like we did back in the 87 and 88 season, Jim.
You're right, but that was certainly one of them, reminiscent of Vaughn Dunbar, or Vaughn Johnson in his prime. Now, Vaughn comes to the sideline as the Saints bring in an extra defensive back, and maybe that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been in there a whole lot against some of the teams the Saints have played this year.
Saints will go with 6 defensive backs right here, and their 4-man rush with Walker.
It was a gain of 5, 3rd and 5 from the 25. Eagles are 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. Myers in motion, and we have flags at the start of the play. And a loose football, but it was flag day. I thought maybe Pat Swilling got an early jump, but maybe it was because of movement on the Eagles line.
Actually, Jim Wilkes was out on the right side. Saints are throwing a few new wrinkles in there off the defense also. Once again.
Oh, what a costly penalty.
Yeah, it really is.
Delay of game on the Eagles. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now from the 20.
You know, Martin really is not in the game on a nickel rushing situation. They got Warren and Wilkes at the tackles, but Pat Swilling was not lined up in his familiar right defensive end spot on nickel defense. Once again, he was kind of standing up as a linebacker, but I think he was prepared to rush. Now they're back to their normal alignment.
3rd down and 10 after the penalty at the 20-yard line. Out of the shotgun,
With Herschel Walker to block, Cunningham gets the snap, looks down the middle, throwing for Byers. It's overthrown and almost intercepted. Was batted down at the point of reception by Vince Buck. Incomplete. The Saints are doing some different things. Guess who was back in the secondary at that time defending the pass? Nose guard Jim Wilkes. He was 10 or 12 yards back deep. The Saints had 5 people in the defensive line for the rush, but Wilkes dropped back. Now, Randall Cunningham made a terrible read right there. Vince Buck is one of the safeties. It was a double zone. He was coming over. Reggie Jones is running with the receiver. He tried to force it in there, and Vince really had a chance for the interception there. Eagles has punts of 60 and 49. He gets this boot off. Patrick Newman may have a chance to return at the 40. Shoots one would-be tackler up to the 45, and then is leveled at the 47-yard line. It's a 41-yard punt and 8 yards on the return by Patrick Newman. Tackle made by Ephesians Bartley, a rookie out of Florida. He was a 9th-round draft choice this past year. 6:39 remaining first half. Saints up 10-7. It's Saints football. When we return, you're listening to Saints football.
The law office of Cardell Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardell Thomas and his associates has assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results.
Supplemental text to the listeners who link included South region.
Car buyers, Ray Brett Nissan is Louisiana's #1 Nissan dealer and now #1 in the South, outselling all the other Nissan dealers in 18 states. Come see why tomorrow at Ray Brett Nissan's Clearance Center in Harvey, where the 93 Pathfinder's only $15,983. Or get the 93 Altima for $11,693. Because it's time to expect more from a car. 1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. Ray Brett Nissan cuts down the competition.
Hi there, it's me again, Q93's midday guy, LBJ. Yeah, plugging something again. This time, it's our game we play. At 11:15 every day, it's called Star Quiz. We give the clues, you give the answers. That simple.
This female singer's new album includes a song that was inspired by Sly and the Family Stone's hit, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself. In 1988, this veteran male singer recorded an entire album of duets called Soul Men with Lou Rawls.
We made our getaway. I said, away we go.
The 2 lead singers of this group are featured on the title tune of Heavy D and the Boys' latest album, Peaceful Journey.
See, the clues aren't tough at all. Join us Monday to Friday, 11:15 for Star Quiz. More music, more money, Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
1st and 10 Saints, their best field position to start a drive at the 47-yard line.
And I think Eric Martin was shaking up a little on that last drive. Wesley Carroll's in for him right here at the split-in spot.
Carroll wide right, Quinn Early wide left, split backfield, Early in motion from left to right. Bobby Brenner, the tight end on the left. Bobby Hebert under center. Play action with the fake handoff. Looks in the flat, wide open. Quinn Early at the 35. Gets the player down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints. It's a 20-yard gain, and let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
CJ and Company in the morning.
The Oldies Our Request Lunch Hour. The Our Request and Dedication Party.
93 in a row.
More money.
And now the Saints. You're listening to Q93, WQUE-FM New Orleans, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
That was a perfectly executed play-action pass. The Saints flooded the zone on the right side, and Quinn Early, after coming in motion, went to the flat, turned it down, was wide open in the zone. Bobby put it right there.
Bobby Brenner from H-back down to formation, tight end on the left with 2 wide receivers on the left and 1 to the right. It's a draw play to Dunbar, running room 30, down to the 25, gets outside to the 20, tripods to the 15, to the 10, he's to the 5. A 24-yard run for Vaughn Dunbar. 1st and goal for the Saints.
That's the Vaughn Dunbar Saints fans have been looking for all year long. Hitting that hole, making a good decision, and running over people in the secondary.
And just 1 yard short of his longest run of the year, but in my opinion, his best run of the year.
13 first downs for the Saints, and yes, he did tripod at the 20 to stay on his feet and get more yardage to the 9.
Reserve cornerback Otis Smith shaking up on the play. He leaves.
1st and goal from the 9. That was the first carry of the ball game for Vaughn Dunbar. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Wesley Carroll in for Martin on the right. Handoff to Dunbar, left tackle. Boom, he's hit hard at the 7-yard line after a 2-yard gain. 2nd and goal at the 7.
Boy, was that a collision right there. Byron Evans, their fine middle linebacker, just head on with Vaughn Dunbar. Misdirection play to the left side out of the ace formation for the Saints. Nice defense on the part of the Eagles.
Second and goal at the 7-yard line. This will only be the 4th play of the drive. It's the first time it's gone to a second down.
Saints go to a 3-wide receiver set. Hobie Brenner's is the tight end. Will probably shift or go in motion here. Dunbar in the backfield.
Hobie Brenner shifts to tight end on the right. 2 wide receivers to the right. Eric Martin is not in the lineup. Torrance Ball in motion out of slot right to the left. With Vaughn Dunbar behind Hebert, straight back to pass, looks, throws for the corner of the end zone. Is it caught? Touchdown Saints! A flag on the play. He was interfered with, but the pass is caught by Quinn Early for the score.
Well, once again, the Saints just kind of flood the left side over there. Good red territory call. Defensive back kind of had his back to Bobby Hebert, didn't really see the throw. Quinn Early brought it in for the touchdown. Very important touchdown for the Saints.
Defense for the 21.
He was interfered with, and then Quinn Early still held the football, and the Saints have scored here with 4:14 remaining in the first half. And with the point after to come, most likely will lead 17-7.
And they beat Eric Allen, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, going to his 3rd Pro Bowl in another few weeks. So the Saints have really done a great job against that Eagles secondary. There have been people uncovered during some of these drives.
They really have. If you don't think Eric Allen's one of the best, just ask him.
4 plays, 53 yards, and you hear the crowd. Morton Anderson's point after is good. 4:14 remaining first half. Saints up by 10. Whatever direction you're headed, just go southwest. Southwest Airlines, that is, with frequent flights and the lowest unrestricted fares. It's just plain smart. For reservations, call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. 4:14 remaining first half. 17-7. Saints over the Eagles. Now this for Popeyes. Hi, football fans. This is Dave Garrett for your local Popeyes and the Saints Network with news of how you can win free Saints playoff tickets each week throughout the playoffs thanks to Popeyes Saints Super Sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Come into any participating Popeyes restaurant and pick up a registration form. Fill it out and mail it in. It's just that easy. Home game winners will receive 4 free game tickets, a complimentary tailgate party, and will participate in the Popeyes Pop of the Game pregame presentation. Road game winners will receive 2 free game tickets, airfare, accommodations at the team hotel, and $200 cash. There's a winner every week while the Saints are in the playoffs, and you can enter as many times as you like. And even if you haven't been one of the weekly winners, you're still eligible for the grand prize, which is an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 26 in Pasadena, California. So sign up now for the Saints Super Sweepstakes from Popeyes. There's still time for the best seats in the house. From your friends at Popeyes and the Saints Network. See store for details. Looking for that perfect New Year's gift for the Saints fan in your family? Pick up a copy of Wayne Mack's Saga of the Saints, $29.95 at bookstores and Saints merchandise shops everywhere, or have a copy delivered by UPS directly to you or the gift recipient. An attractive gift card will be sent in your name. To order by credit card, call 1-800-358-1950. The Saga of the Saints contains 176 colorful pages and over 200 photos. Call 1-800-358-1950 to order Saga of the Saints. And, of course, the Raptors here in the Superdome are stressed to the max after our Sugar Bowl game and, of course, the first half here.
17-7 Saints lead. Those 17 points, the most points the Saints have scored in a first half this season at home. You know, the Saints are 10-0 when they hold the opposition to under 15 points. They keep them under 15 in this one. They've won the game. We might already have seen more scoring in this first half than most people predicted for the entire game.
I think you're right. Well, at this point, 17-7, 4:14 to go, you can't say enough about the game plan of the Saints. The play calling and execution, the play calling by Carl Smith, just been excellent.
Morton Anderson kicks 5 yards deep in the end zone to Vi Sikahema. And there is no return. Eagles will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. We've got a shoving match going on, and the Saints are down at the 5-yard line.
Looks like Joel Smingy.
Actually, they're dancing with that second line music playing down on the sideline. The Eagles have 89 yards in total offense. They've run only 13 plays from scrimmage, and 57 of those 89 yards were on one pass play to Barnett. Wouldn't you say the Saints defense is dominated?
They've done great. You know, we predicted a tough game, but we didn't expect to see the referee bleeding. Dale Hamer, the referee, is replacing his hat. He's got a cut on his forehead with blood trickling down his forehead.
Hey, we said it was going to be a tough game.
That's right.
All right, Eagles 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. with sparse offense today, except for that 57-yard bomb to Fred Barnett. Two wide receivers to the right. Heath Sherman in the backfield behind Randall Cunningham. He hands off to Sherman. Up the middle, running room across the 25, and he's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of 8 or 9, second and short coming. Ricky Jackson on the tackle.
Too much right there. Good hard running by Sherman. Looks like Vaughn Johnson missed a tackle there in the middle. Saints once again with a little different wrinkle from their first down play. Pig Goff was in, and a defensive end slid to the inside. Pat Swilling went down. He's usually a stand-up linebacker on first down. Steve Sidwell's really prepared a lot of different wrinkles to show Randall Cunningham today.
Where's Herschel? Well, he's carried one time for 2 yards. 2 flankers to the right and 2 tight ends in the formation. Calvin Williams from right to left. Handoff goes to Sherman, and he has got the first down, I think, at the 30-yard line. Very close.
Really close in there. I think the Saints may have stopped him. Keith Taylor, Sam Mills in on the tackle.
I'm right. For once this year, I'm right.
Well, that's a generous spot of the ball, really.
Oh, now you're going to give the officials credit. Tackle made by Sam Mills.
You know, When Keith Byers moved to tight end, that was really a residual benefit getting Heath Sherman in the lineup, because that's the position Byers used to play before he was moved to tight end when Keith Jackson went to Miami, and Sherman has really helped out this offense.
Tight end on the left is Maurice Johnson. Byers tight end on the right. Handoff goes to Sherman up the middle again, and he gets 3 yards before he is stopped up there by Pig Goff at the 32 or the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Herschel Walker has not been in on this offensive possession for the Eagles. 2nd down, 7 yards to go from the 33. Eagles have only 3 first downs in the game. 2:23 remaining in the second period. Let's see if the Eagles let the clock expire. Down to the 2-minute warning, they will not. They'll try to get another play off. Williams and Barnett wide to the right. Still 2 tight ends, and Sherman behind quarterback Randall Cunningham, who's over center David Alexander. Calvin Williams in motion from right to left. Snap. Cunningham back to pass on 2nd and long. Zips one over the middle. In and out of the hands of the would-be receiver Barnett, and almost intercepted by the Saints, but it's incomplete.
Well, I really think Toy Cook might have gotten a finger on the ball, but it went right through Fred Barnett.
And we've reached the 2-minute warning. In the state of Louisiana, a proud sponsor of Saints football on radio, is the Louisiana Lottery. Our numbers here today, 17 and 7. Saints lead by 10 at the 2-minute warning. With timeout, you're listening to Saints football.
Hi, C.J. Morgan here, star of C.J. and Company, and really big Saints fan. Many of you have asked if I write all my own funny material for the show. Well, the answer is actually no. You see, I have a professional comedy writer who works for me and me exclusively. And I'd have him say a few words right now, but he's not here today. His class had to take a field trip to the zoo, you understand. But for more music, more money, and more fun, check out C.J. and Company, mornings on your #1, Q93.
It's Shoetown and Foot and Fashion's clearance sale, now in progress. All locations of Shoetown and Foot and Fashion are saving you 75% off all merchandise with green dots. Men's and boys branded athletic shoes by Nike, Reebok, and Converse, 75% off. Men's team caps and t-shirts by Nike and Salem, 75% off. Women's dress and casual shoes, 75% off. Save 75% off all merchandise marked with green dots at all Shoetown and Foot and Fashion locations.
Silver Bullet is the right beer now. The right beer now. And the difference is clear, yeah. You know it's the one for you. So clean, so fresh and true. Brought to you by Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the Silver Bullet when there's no room for filling up. Coors Light,
What were you doing when this song was #1? Flash back to the past and think of those great memories with Sunday Night Oldies, starting at 7 o'clock on your #1, Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
You know, David, besides that touchdown pass, that strike of 57 yards to Fred Barnett in the first quarter, Randall Cunningham is 1 for 7 with 1 yard in passing. Well, this is a situation you want to get him into right here. 3rd and about 7.
1 for 4 on third down conversions. Byers in motion. 3rd and 7 from the 33. Cunningham back to pass. He looks. It's batted at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. And Ricky Jackson almost got the loose ball in the air at the 26. It doesn't matter. The Eagles will have to punt to the Saints with 1:55 remaining in the half.
And I'm going to tell you, they've got him confused. I know he got that ball off. Protection was all right, but it was tipped at the line. The Saints are never giving him the same thing twice. A lot of different looks right here. Some defenses I haven't seen out of the Saints the entire year. Steve Sidwell's really done a great job for this game.
Well, Eagles back to punt. Snap back in good shape. He's averaged 50 yards a kick. This one is a booming one. Newman at the 11, up to the 15, is tripped up and is down at the 19-yard line. It was a 56-yard punt and 8 yards on the return. The Saints will have it inside the 20-yard line with Jeff Seidner making the tackle.
It's a nice return by Newman under the circumstances. The Saints were coming with an all-out rush, had pressure on Fiegels, no one back blocking, and Patrick's made some very good decisions in this first half. That's an area, of course, that Saints fans know has been a sore spot for this team, but so far, Newman's really doing the job back there as a punt returner today.
Well, that's important. He has made good decisions, also had a fine 15-yard return. Of course, on the year, the Saints' return average as a team is 5 yards, and that just won't cut it.
6th offensive possession. Keep in mind the Saints turned it over once on a Hilliard fumble. They have had scores of 7 yards on a pass to Quinn Early, a 1-yard touchdown run by Hayward, and a Morton Anderson 35-yard field goal.
So you think the Saints will come out throwing here?
3 wide receivers.
Yes, I do.
Hebert straight back to pass. He's going long down the field for Quinn Early, and it's just a bit overthrown, but Early was held up a bit at the 50-yard line, overthrown and incomplete. Downfield at the Eagles' 40, 2nd down and 10, and another ovation.
Otis Smith on the coverage, injured earlier, making a tackle back in the game. Eagles employing 5 defensive backs a great deal of the time today on first down when the Saints have their 3 receivers in the game.
2nd down, 10 from the 19-yard line. The Saints have started at their own 27, their own 32, the 20, their own 12. That was a Morton Anderson field goal drive, and their own 47. This is the 2nd worst field position of the game. 1:38 remaining. Clock stopped after the incompletion. Bobby Hebert under center, a 4-man defensive front. Hebert with the snap, handoff, goes to Hayward over left tackle, and he's stopped after a 1-yard gain to the 20. 3rd down and 9.
Now, if the Eagles call a timeout here, yeah, I've got to believe they'll call one. Clock running, though, at 1:27, 1:26.
And timeout is called, and we'll keep it right here in the Superdome with the Saints up 17-7.
Eagles, 40-second time. You know, you hope and pray, certainly, if you're a Saints fan, that this is their week, this is their day, this is their weekend. It almost was Pat Swilling's last night. You know, Pat Swilling's wife had 5 out of the 6 numbers in the lottery last night. 5 out of 6.
Did anyone win?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, we understand no one won, so you'll have a chance to win it next week.
They think $25 million next week. They said it's probably good that he didn't because he would never have shown up for the game. And if he did win, I was going to say, well, that would put him in a higher tax bracket, but I don't think you can get in a higher tax bracket than Pat Swilling's already in. I don't think you so. would know. I know you would know. I don't think so. $25 million next week, I may buy a ticket. I've never bought one. Never bought one.
Well, they give them to Archie.
That's not the only thing he's never bought, I'll tell you.
Well, 2nd down and 9. 3rd down and 9 from the 20-yard line. Saints on 3rd down conversions today are 3 of 5. Like to pick this one up. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hayward in the backfield with Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun with 1:26 on the scoreboard, and the Saints up by 10. Eagles faking blitz. Good snap. Hebert throws as he's hit, complete to Hayward at the 20, and he couldn't get outside, tackled at the 24-yard line by Andy Harmon on a shoestring tackle of Craig Hayward. 4th down coming up.
Boy, what a play by Andy Harmon. That's a defensive lineman right there. Read that little short pass and got out there and really caught Ironhead Hayward, prevented him from getting the first down. Yeah, but you got to remember one thing. Ironhead outweighs the defensive lineman by about 15 pounds.
Buffalo beat Houston earlier today in overtime, 41-38, and Buffalo was way down in that ball game.
Yeah, looks like Ironhead might have gained a pound or 2 during the holidays, as we all probably did. Well, now with 1:11 left, you don't want anything out of the ordinary to happen. The Saints have controlled things for the most part, except for that one big play. Barnhart back to punt. You got a very dangerous punt returner in Vi Sikahema. You want to keep the Eagles off the scoreboard here, obviously, before halftime, because all the momentum at the moment rests with the Saints.
Sikahema has 1 kickoff return for a touchdown this year of 87 yards. He came into this game with 40 returns. Barnhart's had to punt only once. It was a 48-yarder. It's 4th down and 5 from the 24 after that gain of 5 by Hayward. Sikahema stands at his own 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 24.
They've got a return on.
Snap back to Barnhart. He gets away a fairly decent punt. Sikahema comes up, fields it at the 35, tries to go to the right, and is tackled on a good one-on-one stop. Patrick Newman back at the 31-yard line. -5 on the return after the 41-yard punt.
Well, it was a great tackle and play by Patrick Newman, especially because he was the last guy over there. Sikahema was retreating and trying to get outside, and it was a wall set up. 2 people were blocking on Patrick Newman, but he beat him to the inside. Then Eric Allen just felt like he would clip him if he tried to block him. He really did the smart thing, but a nice play by Patrick Newman.
Wide receiver to the near side is Fred Barnett. 2 wideouts to the right side. Byers is the slot to the left. Herschel Walker in the backfield. Randall Cunningham out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Looks in the flat. Throws. It's caught at the 34-yard line. A juke. And upfield and out of bounds at the 40. Calvin Williams on the reception, but he couldn't get out of bounds. The clock will still move.
Yeah, he decided to take it to the inside and then try to get out of bounds. Probably a mistake because the clock rolls at 46-45. No huddle offense for the Eagles.
2nd down and 2 out of the shotgun. Randall Cunningham throws complete to Barnett for the 1st down. Still fighting at the 45-yard line and finally wrestled, but he doesn't get out of bounds either. Credit Reggie Jones for keeping him in bounds.
Absolutely, and I think the Eagles will probably have to use up. No, they're going to let it run here. 26-25. Another big mistake by Fred Barnett. You know, he really ought to just throw the ball down right here.
And he does. A spike to the turf by Randall Cunningham after that 5-yard reception up to the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go from the 44.
That's a great move by Reggie Jones. He baited him into going back, thinking that he had some room if he did take it back into the center of the field more. And in doing so, he got some help, made the tackle. The clock kept running. Very smart move by Reggie Jones on the right corner for the Saints.
Ronaldo Turnbull checks in for Ricky Jackson. I can tell from here Ricky's not real happy coming out at this point.
That's only the 4th first down in the first half for the Eagles compared to 14 for the Saints today. On the 44-yard line, Cunningham out of the shotgun with only 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Snap back in good shape. Looks up, steps up as he's hit. He throws a long pass for Fred Barnett at the 10-yard line. Barnett could not receive the ball. He was out of bounds at the 10, even though he caught it incomplete.
And excellent pressure from Ronaldo Turnbull on his first opportunity to play in weeks.
Yeah, Anton Davis blocking on him. I think actually he was holding Ronaldo Turnbull as he came around the outside. I tell you, that was a good play by Fred Barnett to come back to that wobbly pass and make the catch.
Eagles are 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. It's 3rd and 10 from the 44 in Eagles territory. Saints up 17-7 with 11 ticks on the clock. Barnett wide to the left. Calvin Williams wide to the right. Split to the right is Roy Green in the slot. 2 backs along with Cunningham out of the shotgun with 11 seconds left. It's a screen pass. It's tipped, but caught by Byers at the 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line in Saints territory with 4 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, I really don't agree with either the play calling or the judgment of Randall Cunningham trying to throw the deep pass on the 2nd down. Really, they with a timeout left, 18 seconds, they had a chance to hit some things in the middle and probably try a field goal. Really threw it deep. It's incomplete. Now the screenplay. There's 4 seconds to go. They got a 4th and 4 there at midfield. They just got one play here. There's no time, no chance for a field goal. They've got to try a Big Ben type of play.
Cunningham out of the shotgun with 3 wideouts to the right. Byers is the blocking back. Cunningham stands at the 40. He'll throw a long pass to the right corner of the end zone, and it's intercepted. No, now incomplete and dropped. Saints had the best chance to intercept at the end zone, but it's incomplete, and that's the end of the first half. And let's listen to the crowd. In the first half, a 10-point lead for the Saints at halftime, 17-7. That's the end of the first half. The Southwest Airlines halftime report begins in 1 minute with the summary. This is the Saints Network.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
How do I pick my number?
The number of chocolate chip cookies I bake every day.
I use my girlfriend's area code.
Wherever you get your numbers from, you can win $500 with Pick 3. And it couldn't be easier to play. All you have to do is pick 3 numbers between 0 and 9. Then watch the drawings every night at 9:59. So play Pick 3, and remember, it doesn't matter where you get your numbers from.
I use my height, 5'11". I just let the computer pick them.
Pick 3. Play every day, get lucky every night.
Saints football proudly sponsored on radio by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
17-7, Saints lead at halftime. It's been a winning season for Southwest Airlines and the New Orleans Saints as well. And thanks to the many thousands of fans throughout the Gulf South, the response to this year's Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame contest was just plain fantastic as well. Your interest in the great Saints of the past and hundreds of cards and entry letters were truly rewarding to all of us at Clear Channel Sports and to Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Radio Network. Mrs. Marie Bourgeois of St. Martinsville, Louisiana, was our first winner. Also, congratulations to others, including Jerry LeBlanc, Wally Yip, Patricia Ammon, Lynn Hare, James Willingham, and Brian Kuchera, as well as Patricia Palmer, our last winning entry. Be listening next season. If you're just plain smart about Saints history, you too could be a big winner in the Southwest Airlines Saints Halo Hall of Fame contest in 1993. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Radio Network. First half summary, Saints leading 17-7, jumped on the scoreboard first on their first offensive possession of the game. After receiving the opening kickoff at the 27-yard line, the Saints marched 8 plays, 63 yards. In that drive, a 25-yard pass to Hayward, a 10-yard pass to Early, a 19-yard pass to Martin, a pass interference penalty in the end zone for 17 yards, and Craig Hayward on 1st and goal from the 1, bruised it over. 9:20 remaining first period, Saints were up 7-0. 2 Eagles offensive possessions later, on a 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line, Randall Cunningham hooked up with an open Fred Barnett for a 57-yard bomb. 4 plays, 80 yards on the drive. That tied the score at 7-7. We go to the second period. Saints have possession of the ball as we enter the second period. After taking over with their worst field position of the day at their own 12-yard line, the Saints still marched 71 yards, but their drive stalled at the Eagles' 17-yard line. Morton Henderson was forced to boot a 35-yard field goal, but forced he was, and he forced one through. It was 10-7. Saints had the lead. Eagles were 3 and out, including a costly penalty on a 3rd down and 5, and the Saints took over at their own 47-yard line after a good return of the punt and marched 53 yards in only 4 plays. The scoring strike, a 7-yard pass in the far side of the end zone to Quinn Early. 4 plays, 53 yards, with 4:14 remaining in the first period. Saints were up 17-7. Eagles went with 1 first down on their next possession, but had to punt, and then picked up 1 first down on their last possession of the first half, but had to punt again, and that's where we stand. Saints leading by a score of 17-7 with 8:49 remaining in our halftime activities. And Jim Henderson coming up next with our halftime interview. After these messages, 17-7 Saints, you're listening to Saints Football.
Car buyers, Ray Brett, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, slashing prices. Come in to Ray Brett Dodge tomorrow and get the 93 full-size Dodge van for only $11,995. Or get $6,000 off the 92 twin-turbo Stealth at Ray Brett Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for 1 Dodge dealer. It's Ray Brett Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge!
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot. With Express Mail overnight delivery service from your post office. For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express Mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces. Sponsored by your Postal Service.
Hi, this is CJ Superstar Morgan, star of CJ and Company and Saints fan extraordinaire. Boy, I hope you guys are enjoying the ball game. And while we got this little break, I'd just like to take a moment to invite you to join me mornings from 5:30 until 10 for more music, more money, more Monica Pierre, and more fun. Also, during this time out, I say we play a little Saints music, you know, just to kind of keep you guys fired up. Hold on a second here. Maestro, if you please, Saints music there. There we go. Thank you very much. You can just kind of hum along here, to stay fired up. But if you can't hum, you can pat your foot or something. Yes, indeed. It's a Saints thing, you see. There, don't you feel better now?
CJ Superstar Morgan and Company. Mornings on Q93. The Saints are on Q93.
Saints lead the Eagles 17-7. We're really trotting out the big hitters here for the playoffs down on the field below. Pete Fountain playing Basin Street Blues and all-star retinue, really, of New Orleans musicians. And we've got the big hitters up here in the booth as well. Larry Wiseman of the USA Today, who writes on pro football so expertly throughout the year. Your impressions of that first half. You see the Saints alive.
Oh, sorry, I don't do impressions. But seriously, folks, I think that this is one of the most impressive Saints first halves I've ever seen. They looked like they really had a good game plan, and on both sides of the ball, the execution was crisp. They know where the weak areas are in the Eagles' defense, and they hit them hard. And I'm impressed with what they've done so far. But based on the game earlier today, I'd say, batten down the hatches. It's not over.
Yeah, no lead is safe, judging by what's going on in the NFL this weekend, and in particular today in Buffalo. You look at some of the stats here. Herschel Walker, who's rushed for over 1,000 yards and just absolutely killed the Saints in the first game of the season. 1 carry for 2 yards. He disappeared in that first half.
Yeah, they used him for a couple of decoy things, and they had him in the block a little bit. But when they've started running the ball, it's been Heath Sherman. So, the Saints defense may well have, in fact, dismantled one potent weapon and can now go after the other ones.
You spoke about the Saints finding the weaknesses in the Philadelphia defense. Where are those weaknesses?
Well, they have 2 really subpar safeties out there. They're missing Wes Hopkins and Andre Waters, who are both great run support guys and very good cover players. And what they've got back there is Rich Miano and John Booty. Miano really is a safety. Booty's about a half cornerback. And as a result, you've seen how deep Booty's been playing. And once you beat a corner, the help hasn't been there. And Eric Martin did a great job taking advantage of that, and did Quinn Early.
Yeah, there have been some Saints receivers in this first half virtually uncovered because of mix-ups in the secondary of the Eagles. We're visiting with Larry Wiseman, fine pro football writer of the USA Today. We're nearing the start of our second half here in New Orleans with the score, the Saints 17 and the Eagles 7. More on the Southwest Airlines halftime report in a moment. You're listening to Saints Football.
Okay, so what do you do with a job you hate and a boss that sucks, right? Well, I don't know what you do with them, but I know at lunchtime what you really can do is tune into the Oldies All Request Lunch Hour.
Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
It's a radio show designed specifically with you in mind. That's right, call us up 260-9393 or fax us at 553-2002. Happens right here, 12 noon on Q93. Remember, it's the Oldies All Request Lunch Hour.
Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
The right beer now. And the difference is clear, yeah. You know it's the one for you. So clean, so fresh and true.
Brought to you by Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the Silver Bullet when there's no room for filling up.
Coors Light, survive. Taste of the Rocky Mountain. Coors Light, survive. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
In New Orleans, there will always be snowball stands in the summertime. You can depend on it. And since 1883, New Orleans has depended on the Whitney National Bank. In a time when the financial stability of your bank is more important than ever before, more and more people depend on the Whitney. Our dedication to customer service and personal banking relationships has remained uninterrupted for more than 100 years. Stable, competitive, personal, the Whitney. With 32 Metro New Orleans locations to serve you. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Gerard Stevens, Program Director for Q93 FM. Just want to take a few seconds of your time to say, hey, thank you for making Q93 the #1 rated radio station in New Orleans. You said you wanted more, and we tried to deliver that to you. You have our commitment to continue to deliver the best music, fun contests, the best prizes, great personalities, and of course, touch you in your community every day. We're not bragging, and we're not boasting. We're just out to satisfy you, the listener. So it's not over yet. Enjoy the game, and hey, we appreciate your continued support. We are your Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
What's going to happen in Chicago, perhaps in Phoenix, and who might ultimately get that opening in Denver?
Well, starting with Denver, I would say offhand that you'd have to look at Mike Shanahan as the leading contender. You know, Reeves basically ran him off. He was too close to John Elway. Elway stays, Reeves goes. The team needs a honeymoon, especially with baseball coming in there. I think Shanahan is the pick. If he'll leave the 49ers, then I think that he will. In Chicago, Mike Ditka's making it sound like he expects the axe to fall. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'd look for Richie Pettibone in Chicago. The Cardinals may not fire Joe Bugle if they're not ready to move fast enough on hiring a new general manager and then getting one of these other coaches who are out there. Reeves would be a possibility and probably a good one, but he's looking for more control, not less. So I don't know that he's a fit there. Dan might take the year off and wait and see what happens in Atlanta, where he has always wanted to go.
Larry Wiseman of the USA Today has been our halftime guest. I think you've gotten more ties than Jay Leno has.
More than Michigan?
More ties than Michigan. I like that. Geez, I wish I'd said that.
You will.
Here's a nice collection of Oscar de la Renta neckwear, courtesy of the Wemco Corporation in your adopted home, New Orleans, Louisiana. And it's always good to see you, and perhaps we'll see you next week in Dallas, all right?
Thank you, Jim. Thanks.
That's Larry Wiseman of the USA Today. It's always a pleasure to visit with Larry. That's today's Southwest Airlines halftime report.
Recently, Motor Trend magazine named Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 Truck of the Year. But considering the fun most people have driving it, it could be the thrill of the year. So now, in honor of the holidays, your Jeep and Eagle dealer is hosting a holiday toy sale. Check out Grand Cherokee, plus save on every Jeep vehicle in stock. Don't miss it, and don't miss the toys that never stop being fun. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Party Caribbean style at the Isle of Capri Casino, Mississippi's largest. The Isle is always open for non-stop fun and excitement with live entertainment, free admission, and free parking. So come to the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. It's a tropical paradise. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
I love the Isle of Capri Casino. Hey, I love the Isle of Capri Casino.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for the kickoff and play-by-play of the second half with the Saints leading by a score of 17-7. Saints had 63 yards rushing, 187 yards passing, 250 total yards in the first half. Eagles had 44 yards rushing, 77 yards passing, 120 yards total offense in the first half. Saints were 3 of 6 on third downs. Eagles only 1 of 6. Saints had 14 first downs in the first half to the Eagles 4, and it will be Sika Hema deep to receive, along with Jeff Seidner. Nope, that may be Herschel Walker. And Morton Anderson will kick off for the Saints. And the Eagles will have the ball first here in the second half. Here's Anderson's boot. It's a high and over-end kick. And back deep is Seidner. It's Sika Hema who's not in there. And Seidner receives it 8 yards deep in the end zone with no run back. Seidner's in there along with Herschel Walker, and Sika Hema's out on the return game.
Well, they've got to find something for Herschel Walker to do. Surprisingly, 1 carry for 2 yards in that first half. What do you make of that, Arch, for a guy who really gashed the Saints with his running ability in the first game?
Well, it really is surprising. I was listening to Terry Bradshaw just for a minute at halftime. He said he didn't know that Herschel even dressed out today. Let's see if we see a little more of him here at the beginning of the third quarter.
Eagles with very few offensive plays in the first half. Saints led in time of possession in the first half by a big margin. Cunningham back to pass, throws on the right. It's complete to Calvin Williams quickly for 6 yards to the 26-yard line. Time of possession in the first half, 19:35 for the Saints, 10:25 for the Eagles.
It's a good sound first down play right there. Split backs. Eagles usually throw out of split backs. Just a little waggle play to the right where Cunningham sets up. Good safe pass out to Williams in the right flat. Picks up about 6.
Calvin Williams wide to the right. Fred Barnett wide to the left. Byers is in the slot to the left. Byers in motion now out of the wingback position. Handoff goes to the first man through in the eye. That's Heath Sherman. And he gets very close to the first down. He needed to get to the 30. He may have just gotten to the 29. Line of scrimmage was the 26. He did get to the 30. It's a 4-yard game. That's only the 5th first down of the ball game for the Eagles at the 30-yard line.
Oftentimes the first possession of the third quarter is a very pivotal one for the Saints in this crowd. You got to get back up and get back into it after an excellent 30 minutes. You've got to act like this is the beginning of the game and you already have it won.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the Eagles are going to come out just like it's the beginning of the game. Just try to keep things balanced. No panic. Don't worry about play. Just like it's nothing to nothing.
Williams in motion from right to left. Barnett is wide to the left out of the I formation. Handoff goes to Herschel Walker with Sherman. The block cuts it up at the 30 and gets 2 yards to the 32. Tackle made by Ricky Jackson. 2nd down and 8 coming up at the 32-yard line for the Eagles.
Ricky Jackson does his job there of stringing that play out. Then right in there to make the tackle is Herschel now has 4 yards on his 2 carries.
And once you get Herschel to stop as he's running wide, you've really done your job. He has those little mincing steps. He's never, ever been able to really change direction very much on the run. And again, as you said, the Saints stringing out that run for a very short gain of 2. It's 2nd and 8.
This is the 4th offensive play of the beginning drive. The Eagles started at the 20. They have 1 first down here in the second half and 5 in the game. I formation with wide receivers left and right. Cunningham back to pass, throws over the middle. It's caught by Byers at the 36-yard line. That's only a 4-yard gain. It will be 3rd down and 4.
Well, they got a positive play there, about a, as you said, about a 4-yard gain, but I thought Randall Cunningham was a little bit shaken up on the play. Didn't know what the defense was doing. Speaking of shaking up, one of the officials goes down right there.
Eagles are 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversions in the first half. This is the first time they've been to 3rd down on this drive.
Ricky Jackson got a real good jump on Anton Davis that time coming around the corner.
All right, let's see if we can hold him at the 36-yard line. Williams and Green to the right. Byers and Barnett to the left. No tight ends. Roy Green in motion from right to left out of the shotgun. 3rd and 4 from the 36. Cunningham throws in the flat. It is caught by Roy Green at the 45, and he runs himself out of bounds at the 50-yard line. A 14-yard gain. 1st and 10 Eagles at the midfield stripe.
Well, there's the veteran, 14 years out of Henderson State. Only had 8 receptions during the regular season as he nears the end of his career, but he still knows where the holes are in that secondary.
I think the Saints got a little confused in their secondary. That time, Pat Swilling did not rush. He stayed right at the line of scrimmage as if to spy on Randall Cunningham in case he tried to run the ball up the middle.
From the 50-yard line, the Eagles have picked up 2 first downs from starting at their own 20. Calvin Williams wide to the right, Fred Barnett to the left, Byers, the H-back, on the left, now in motion to the right out of the I formation, fake handoff. Cunningham hitting the backfield, gets loose, looks down the field, throws. It's caught by Williams. Great catch at the 40, down to the 36-yard line.
Well, not only a great catch by Williams, but a great athletic move on the part of Randall Cunningham, avoiding the sack from Ricky Jackson, then running just parallel to his right and throwing a bullet to Calvin Williams, and a big first down for the Eagles. Toy Cook took a chance trying to tip the ball away. Really looks like he got his hand on it. Williams made a good catch.
Cunningham's 4 for 4 in the second half on this drive. It started at the 20. It's down to the Saints' 36-yard line. 7 first downs in the game with that 14-yard pass to Calvin Williams from the 36, 1st and 10, split backfield. Handoff goes to Heath Sherman, sweeping to the left at the 35, down to the 30, and ridden out of bounds close to the first down and around the 25-yard line. I believe he did get it. Vaughn Johnson makes the tackle along with Reggie Jones. It's an 11-yard gain and the 4th first down of the second half for the Eagles.
Well, once again, Saints giving up a little too much on the run now on first down. Sherman able to turn the corner, running toward Pat Swilling.
8 carries for 38 yards for Heath Sherman, who's been the entire attack on the ground for the Eagles here today.
10:54 remaining third period. Saints up by 10, 17-7. We're just underway in the second half. Calvin Williams wide to the right. Barnett wide to the left. Football on the left side, hash mark. Byers in motion, out of the H-back. Handoff goes to Sherman. Hit by Vaughn Johnson and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten a yard.
That may be our Popeyes pop right there. Definitely will be considered.
Johnson knifed through there and knocked Sherman down right at the line of scrimmage at the 25, no gain. The Eagles have as many first downs in this drive as they had in the first half. It's 2nd down and 10 at the 25.
Well, once again, it looked like he had a big hole right there, and Vaughn Johnson came off that inside linebacking position, put a big pop on him.
See one of the signs in the stands. The Saints trying to make a Cajun bird suit today. This is the 9th play of the drive with Green wide to the left. Williams out of the slot right in motion. Cunningham back to pass. He's hit. He's sacked. He fumbles. It's on the ground. The Saints have recovered at the 32-yard line. There is your pop of the game.
Ricky Jackson.
Ricky Jackson just beat Anton Davis. He guessed on the snap count. Came around Davis. Randall Cunningham never saw him. Even though Randall Cunningham being a right-handed quarterback, I guess he was looking to his left. He never saw Ricky Jackson. He coughed the ball up. Saints recover.
2 men on top of the ball. We'll tell you who recovered it after our timeout. 9:53 remaining third period. A turnover on the Eagles. Timeout on the field. Saints leading with the football 17-7. You're listening to Saints football.
It's Shoetown and Foot and Fashion's clearance sale, now in progress. All locations of Shoetown and Foot and Fashion are saving you 75% off all merchandise with green dots. Men's and boys branded athletic shoes by Nike, Reebok, and Converse, 75% off. Men's team caps and t-shirts by Nike and Salem, 75% off. Women's dress and casual shoes, 75% off. Save 75% off all merchandise marked with green dots at all Shoetown and Foot and Fashion locations.
When you come to Royal Oldsmobile, you don't have to wonder if you're getting the best deal or the best service anywhere. You can count on it. Royal is the dealership that's different.
At Royal, we have 5 Oldsmobile Master Technicians. That's more than anybody in our Southeast region.
When you buy a car from Royal Oldsmobile, from selection to taking delivery of the car, it's going to be a pleasant experience because we're different.
Take it from the pros who know. Royal Oldsmobile, the dealership that's different.
Sunday night oldies. The best party. Oldies, fast or slow. Sunday night.
I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But Mama said you can't hurry on ABC. Easiest 1, 2, 3. All simple as roll with me. ABC. 1, 2, 3, baby, we'll be good.
7 o'clock on Sundays. Sunday night oldies. Gonna make you feel good. Q93.
Martin recovers the fumble after Jackson's sack and the force of the fumble. Saints 1st and 10 and throwing 31.
Good spot for a play-action pass.
In motion, Torrance Ball out of the slot left to the slot right. Eric Martin is in there. Play action. Hebert to pass over the middle. Caught by Dunbar at the 34. Outruns a player to the 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, 35 and out of bounds. Big run, big catch, big elusive tackle. And 35 yards down the field, Vaughn Dunbar has the Saints in Philly territory.
I'll tell you, that should have been about a 4-yard gain right there. They faked to Dunbar. He runs back over to the left. Zone defense. They had had a linebacker and a defensive back in position to make that tackle for a nominal gain, and Dunbar just left them both and got down the sideline. Booty forced him out.
35 yards.
William Thomas had the angle on him, but Dunbar just outran him down the sideline. Why couldn't you call plays that well when you were down there in uniform?
At the 34-yard line, Archie ponders the answer. Wide receivers, 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Again, Eric Martin is back in the lineup. Handoff goes to Dunbar. Tries to bounce outside at the 35 and is ridden down, but there's a face mask at the 34-yard line. We'll see if it's tackling by the face mask or just grasping. The Saints are going to get more yardage here with the penalty. And Seth Joyner is livid. Rich Miano is guilty of the face mask.
Well, that'll help. Eagles starting to lose their composure a little bit defensively. They're getting frustrated. They've been out there a long time so far today.
Still first down.
Yeah, Joyner grabbed the face mask as Dunbar was attempting to turn the corner.
You know, both of these teams were +9 in takeover turnover ratio during the regular season, but there was a huge difference for the Eagles. They were +12 at home, but -3 on the road.
It's only a 5-yard non-flagrant face mask penalty against Seth Joyner.
Ironhead takes the place of Dunbar in the backfield. Saints stay with that 3-receiver set. Colby Brenner, the tight end. Ironhead, the sole running back.
Bobby Hebert under center. That's under Pro Bowler Hilgenberg. In motion from left to right, Torrance Small. Handoff goes to Hayward up the middle. Runs over Seth Joyner and gets down to the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, but it was only 1st down and 5 after the face mask penalty. Pickup of 2, so it's 2nd down, 3 yards to go at the 27-yard line. 8:32 remaining, third period. Saints with the football, leading 17-7 after a Jackson sack and a Cunningham fumble and a recovery by Wayne Martin. The Saints are on the move. Vaughn Dunbar got 35 yards on a swing pass. He eludes one tackler and races 35 yards down to the 34. Now the Saints have got it down to the 27. Martin in the slot to the right. Torrance Ball wide to the right. Quinn Early wide to the left. Dunbar behind Bobby Hebert under center. On second down and short, handoff goes to Dunbar, and he puts the head down across the 25 and gets close to the first down, but I believe he's the length of the football short.
Dunbar with some good hard running. Of course, if you're joining us late, and I don't know why you would be, you have to have been with us from the very beginning in this one, but the Saints lost Dalton Hilliard on a fumble in the first quarter. He pinched a nerve at his neck, although it was said he would be probable to return. He is not yet, although he's standing on the sideline with his helmet on at the moment.
And Dunbar really is running hard. I look for him to get the football here. Well, we'll see the alignment. Yeah, it looks like an I formation. 3 tight end alignment. You would think Dunbar would get the ball here on a running play. I formation.
Stowers, the tight end on the left. Brenner and Wainwright are on the right. Bobby Hebert with the handoff straight away to Dunbar, and he gets very close to the first down at the 24-yard line. But it is very close, and we may have to have a measurement.
Oh, that's a bad spot. That's a real bad spot.
Jim Moore to make a decision. Shouting now for Barnhart and others to go out on the field, and here comes Morton Anderson to attempt to make it 20-7.
Let's take a look on the replay and see if the Saints got a bad spot here. Yeah, he did, although it looked like he still would have been short, but it cost him about 8 inches on the spot of the football, but it looked from our vantage point like he still would have been short.
42-yard field goal attempt from Morton Anderson. Angle is to the right. Anderson's already booted 1 today. Snap, ball down, kick in the air. Does he get 22 in a row? He does. It won't count statistically, but still Morton has booted 22 straight as he sends this one through. 6:28 remaining in the third period of play, and the Saints go up on the Eagles by a score of 20-7. Now this for Southwest Airlines.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy 1 round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for 1 night. By the way, this offer doesn't include local airport taxes up to $12 round trip each. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
The President Casino is the class of the coast.
We had a great Las Vegas. Eat your heart out. Woo!
Southern hospitality is great.
The President Casino at the Broadwater in Biloxi. Open 24 hours every day. Free admission, free parking. Come and go as you please.
Whether you're on the ground or in the air, we've got you covered. This game brought to you in part by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Ford Quality Care, and by Southwest Airlines, the 7th largest airline in America, offering over 1,200 daily departures to 33 destinations at the lowest unrestricted fare. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. Saints, 5 plays, 44 yards, a 42-yard field goal by Anderson, and here's Morton to kick off. Sikahema is deep with Seidner again, and this kick goes through the end zone for the touchback by Seidner. 1st and 10 Eagles at their own 20.
David, the Saints leading this 20-7 with 6:22 to play in the third quarter. This includes playoffs. The Saints are 52-14 under Jim Mora when scoring 20 or more points. They are 17-31 under Mora when they have scored less than 20.
Another proud sponsor of Saints Radio is Isle of Capri in Biloxi for Caribbean-style fun and games. It's Isle of Capri. We'll pause for these messages. 6:22 remaining third period. Saints up 20-7. You're listening to Saints football.
Hi there. Are you a night owl like me? I'm Q93's Uptown Angela, inviting you to hang out with me all night long each Tuesday through Thursday morning from 2 a.m. to 5:30. We'll play all of your favorite jams for you, and you'll even get a chance to talk on the award-winning AM forum. Well, you'll never know what you'll hear. We'll even do some requests for you. It's the most fun and entertainment you'll ever have all night long with yours truly, Uptown Angela, on your number 1 Mo Music, Mo Money, Q93.
Looks like
he's going to be out of the game. If you just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. A full range of medical professionals are trained to treat everyone from pro athletes, weekend warriors, or Little League champs. The Sports Medicine team can show you how to overcome existing injuries or prevent new ones using modern fitness equipment and medical technology. From sprained ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488. Finding the right home can take a lot of looking. Buying the home can take a lot of money. But getting the best lender can start with a single phone call to Jefferson Federal Savings Bank. We have...
No, that's enough, Walt. Cut it out. That's CJ and Company. Mornings on Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
Eagles fumbled on their first possession. It's 1st and 10. Fake handoff. Roll to the near side. Play action. Cunningham throws in and out of the hands of Byers. Incomplete at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Good job by Pat Swilling, who wasn't fooled by that bootleg and rollout and put pressure on Cunningham, who never really could get set as he tried to deliver the football to Byers just off target.
You wouldn't think the linebackers would be fooled as much at this point on part of the Saints. Still early, 6:15 third quarter. The Saints are protecting a 20-7 lead, and they know Cunningham's the key with all his movement.
2 wide receivers to the left. Williams in the slot to the left. Fred Barnett wide to the left. Football right in the middle of the field laterally. Randall Cunningham changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Sherman and Walker behind Cunningham. Clock down to 5. Cunningham gets the snap. Straight back to pass. Looks, throws. Caught by Barnett at the 25. But he's down right there at the 25-yard line. Only a 5-yard gain. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Eagles.
Well, Vince Buck, as a 5th back in the game, came up from his safety spot, much like a middle linebacker. Cunningham immediately checked out off to a good sound play, just a hitch pattern on the left side of the slot. Good hard throw to Barnett, and they pick up about 5.
2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Roy Green comes into the lineup to replace Heath Sherman. And the Saints make a defensive change as well as Ronaldo Turnbull comes in the lineup for Pat Swilling.
Eagles converting on 38% of the 3rd down conversions for the year.
4 wide receivers, 2 right, 2 left. Herschel Walker in the backfield with Cunningham out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 5. Cunningham to throw, looks over the middle, incomplete. He threw it low at the 35-yard line. It was intended for Calvin Williams.
I'll tell you what, besides that one breakdown on that pass to Barnett, this defense has nearly played a perfect game.
They really have. Had a great plan. I really feel like, even though Cunningham's made a few good plays, he's pretty much confused out there on a lot of the pass coverage on the drops of the Saints. Saints are giving him a lot of different looks, and then just playing good, hard defense. Good rush.
Eagles averaged 51.5 yards per punt in the first half on 4 punts. His longest today has been 60. Newman deep to receive. The punt hits at the 23-yard line and goes out of bounds about the 26-yard line. We have timeout on the field after a 50-yard punt and no return. Saints will have the football when we come back. 5:15 remaining 3rd period. It's 20-7 Saints over the Eagles. Now this for Ford Quality Care and Tabasco brand products.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
If you take the 4 quarters in a football game, add a few timeouts, and of course the announcer's witty commentary, you might have time to make chili from scratch. Or try Tabasco brand 7-spice chili recipe. 1 jar with its 7 specially blended herbs and spices turns a pound of brown meat into homemade tasting chili in minutes. And all you'll miss is a little of that witty commentary. An original or spicy Tabasco 7-spice chili recipe is homemade taste made easy from the makers of Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
How do I pick my numbers? The amount of speckled trout I caught that day.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Wherever you get your numbers from, you can win $500 with Pick 3. And it couldn't be easier to play. All you have to do is pick 3 numbers between 0 and 9. Then watch the drawings every night at 9:59. So play Pick 3. And remember, it doesn't matter where you get your numbers from.
Well, if a number my wife tells me is 216, I just let the computer pick them.
Pick 3. Play every day, get lucky every night.
Today's game is brought to you by Popeyes.
Chicken and Biscuits, sponsor of the Popeyes Pop of the Game. And, of course, Ricky Jackson's sack of Randall Cunningham is our pop of the game. I do believe that forced the fumble. And, of course, Wayne Martin recovered. The Saints marched down for a field goal to put them up 20-7.
Yeah, that could have easily been a 10-point swing right there as the Eagles had their best drive of the day going other than the long pass they had. Ricky calls the fumble. The Saints get 3 out of it. Chris Port remains in at the right guard spot. We don't expect to see Derek Kennard today because of that ankle injury.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. It's Dunbar. Play action for Bobby Hebert on first down. Throws long for Quinn Early. It's overthrown and intercepted by the Eagles at the 40. Back to the 35. Now back up Eric Allen to the 38-yard line. Allen intercepts a badly overthrown ball off the delivery of Bobby Hebert. First turnover of the second half for the Saints. They have 2 in the game.
Same play the Saints tried today to open the game, trying to throw it deep. At that time, the offside corner came all the way across. I guess Bobby didn't consider he could be there.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
CJ and Company in the morning.
The oldies I'll request lunch hour. The I'll request a dedication party.
93 in a row.
Oh, money.
And now the Saints. You're listening to Q93, WQUE FM New Orleans, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
The crowd will get loud for the Eagles. Third possession of the second half. They were 3 and out on their last possession. Keith Sherman behind Randall Cunningham with 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. Cunningham straight back to pass. A little swing pass to Sherman, 35, 40. Breaks a tackler and gets out of bounds about to the 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8 on the play. Toy Cook on the tackle. Third down and very short yardage coming up.
But Archie, on that last play for the Saints, that's not usually what the Saints fans think of their team doing at a time in the game when you might think about getting a little cozy and sitting on it. The Saints come out and throw it deep on first down.
Yeah, I got no problem with throwing. I'm glad they're throwing on first down. I just don't know how you're trying to get 40 or 50 or the home run. You know, we've been so successful with intermediate type throws of 15, 18 yards.
From the 46-yard line, it's second down and 2 yards to go. Draw play to Sherman. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, but drives forward close to the 50-yard line. And a little scuffle now ongoing between Pig Goff and Ron Heller. He gets 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, and it's a first down for the Eagles. Their 9th first down of the ball game and their 5th first down of the second half.
The Saints continue to shuffle their defensive linemen. Pig Goff in the game. I think it was David Alexander, fine center for the Eagles. You know, the nose guard should make a lot of tackles with the Eagles are running the ball today because David Alexander really doesn't get much help on his blocking. He takes a nose guard by himself most of the time.
Clock moving, 3:50 remaining third quarter. Cunningham back to pass on first and 10. Fires over the middle. Byers had it. Looked like he dropped it. Then he kept it. Tackle made by Ricky Jackson and Sam Mills. And a quick pass down to the Saints' 47 or 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 or 5 on the play. Second down and about 6 yards to go.
And some nice hands exhibited by Keith Byers, a converted running back. That ball was thrown like a bullet, no more than 10 yards from him, and he made the catch down around his knees in a fingertip manner and held on.
Barnett and Williams wide to the right. Byers, the H-back on the right-hand side.
All right, here's this different alignment for the Saints with Swilling rushing from the left side. Ricky Jackson at a linebacking position.
Handoff goes to Sherman away from those 2, and he gets inside the 40 with the first down, almost fumbled the football. Tackle made by Reggie Jones inside the 40-yard line to the 38. It's a 9-yard gain. He only needed 6. The Eagles have their 10th first down of the ball game, first and 10, inside the Saints' 40-yard line at the 38.
Yeah, it looked as though the Eagles were ready for it that time. As Jim Wilkes had slipped out as a defensive end, Ricky in a stand-up position, backing up Jim Wilkes, and they took the play outside, picks up the first down.
At the 38, this will be the 5th play of the drive that started at the Eagles' 38-yard line. 2 tight ends. 2 flankers to the right. One is Williams in motion from right to left. The other is Barnett. Cunningham straight back to pass. Swings it out to Sherman. He's pumped, but breaks the tackle. 40, 35, 30, 25, inside the 20, down to the 22-yard line and out of bounds. A 16-yard gain. 11 first downs, and the Eagles are inside the Saints' 25.
Well, that was a breakdown on the Saints, primarily just because of a missed tackle, though. Toy Cook in position on that zone defense to make the tackle for a short gain. Misses it. Sherman goes on downfield, picks up another first down.
11 first downs of the game, now at the Saints' 22-yard line. The Eagles had driven to the Saints' 25 on their first possession, but a sack and a fumble gave the Saints the football back. Herschel Walker is the only running back behind Cunningham, who has 2 slots to the left and a wideout to the left. Byers in motion left to right. Handoff to Walker to the left. Hit by Vaughn Johnson at the line of scrimmage and is stopped right there.
Well, 1:50 to go, third quarter. We don't know what the outcome of this drive will be, but you got to believe it was really an important drive for Randall Cunningham to have some success here and move his football team. I got to believe Richard Kotite was thinking about making a change and possibly going to Jim McMahon.
Walker has 3 carries for 3 yards. He lost a yard there. Back to the 23. The football's touching the 23. Second down and 11. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. Barnett in motion from left to right. Walker behind Cunningham. Back to pass. Throws in the flat. Dropped by Williams. Incomplete at the 17-yard line. 3rd and 11 coming up. First third down opportunity in this drive for the Eagles.
Cunningham just trying to throw a good safe pass out to the right. Williams straight down the field, hitch pattern, throwing it safely to his outside. Williams probably should have made the catch and put him in good shape about 3rd and 4. This is a little more difficult now, though. 3rd and 10.
Eagles are only 2 of 8 on third down conversions. And it's a little more than 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 11 from the 23-yard line.
Kind of a strange twist here. The Saints come out of their 6 defensive backs and go back to a 5 defensive back set. 2 linebackers in the game.
Out of the shotgun, Cunningham, handoff, fake to Sherman. Cunningham to pass, in trouble, runs, throws as he's hit. It's bobbled and not caught by anyone at the 10-yard line. Heath Sherman had a chance. I believe Vaughn Johnson was all over Sherman. It's incomplete.
Once again, though, Cunningham did not know where to go with the football. He bought himself a little time and found someone downfield. But after faking the draw, he wanted to throw that ball to Herschel Walker on the swing pass, much like the play they scored on in the first game. Pat Swilling was right with him step for step, and then Cunningham did not know where to go.
It's a 40-yard field goal attempt for Roger Ruzek, who's hit on 15 of 24 field goal tries this year. Football right in the middle of the field. Deep snapper is Pat Beach, a backup tight end. Ball down, kick in the air. It is certainly long enough. It's good. Roger Ruzek boots through a 40-yard field goal with 1:01 remaining in the 3rd period of play. The Eagles have pulled to within 10. It's the Saints 20, the Eagles 10, and you're listening to Saints football.
Hey, George, I heard you just purchased a new heat pump.
Yeah, Bill had it installed last week.
What in the world did you buy a heat pump?
Well, a heat pump's one piece of equipment that provides comfortable heating and cooling with just the flick of a switch. And for each unit of electricity that goes in, you get 3 units of heat out. I mean, it's like getting a $100 value for only $33.
George, where'd you get your heat pump?
We got it from a contractor member of Louisiana Heat Pump Association. And if you're interested in moving up to the heat pump, just call 1-800-537-4255. They'll provide you with a list of qualified member contractors in your area.
There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
Q93, Fox 38, and Club Taboo are making you a star. If you missed it last week, don't miss it this week. It's the video shooting of New Orleans Jazz. It's New Orleans' fresh new video show that airs each and every Sunday at 5 p.m. on Fox 38. The best thing is that it stars you. You can watch yourself on TV and see the freshest videos out today. Join the entire Q crew Sunday evening at Club Taboo, 1600 St. Charles Avenue, for the taping of New Orleans Jam. You are a star. And remember, the camera doesn't lie. So we'll see you Sunday for the taping of New Orleans Jams with your number 1, Q93. The Saints are on Q93.
Welcome back to the Superdome. That Ruzek 40-yard field goal capped a 9-play, 39-yard drive. It consumed 4:05 on the clock, and it was after an Eric Allen interception of a Bobby Hebert pass, 20-10 with 1:01 remaining. Saints to get the football back, and Ruzek to boot from the 35-yard line. Patrick Newman and Buford Jordan left and right, and Vaughn Dunbar down the middle. And here's the kick. Dunbar retreats 2 yards deep in the end zone, catches it, falls back to 5 yards deep in the end zone, and touches his knee to the turf for the touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Saints. 54 seconds remaining in the 3rd period of play. Saints leading by a score of 20-10.
Well, time for the Saints to reestablish some offense here. We've seen them go in the deep freeze in the past in the second half. They can't afford to do it, although keeping the Eagles to a field goal, a big play. Now it's still, you got a 10-point lead. It takes a couple of touchdowns to beat you.
Yeah, Saints need to move the stick. I agree with you, Jim, at this point. Got to get some first downs here. Kind of get the confidence back in the offense, get the Eagles back on their heels on defense.
Bobby Hebert looking at a 4-man, now 5-man defensive rush. Craig Hayward behind Hebert with 2 wideouts to the right and 1 to the left. Tie in, Hobie Brenner lined up on the right side. Football in the middle of the field laterally. Hebert with the snap, handoff goes to Hayward. Behind blocking on the right side, gains up to the 23. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
That's right, Bobby probably had a check with me play right there. It looked like he was calling a play at the line of scrimmage, but I think it was run all the way. He was just determining which side to run. Eagles had them stacked in there pretty good. Really, it's probably been best to throw the ball against that defense.
33 seconds, clock moving. Hebert will have to get a play off before the end of the 3rd quarter, as the play clock is about 3 seconds ahead of the game clock. 20-10, Saints lead. Huddle breaks. Quinn Early wide to the right. Torrance Small also wide to the right. Early's in the slot. Eric Martin wide to the left. Hobie Brenner tied in on the right. Ironhead behind Bobby Hebert.
Hayward's offset. This is a passing formation.
Small in motion from right to left. Hebert looks, he throws, caught by Brenner on a great catch, and then down at the 28 or the 29-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 when we come back as the 3rd period ends.
End of the 3rd quarter, timeout.
That's Dale Hamer, the referee, to tell the fans the same thing at the end of the 3rd period of play. The score, the Saints 20, the Eagles 10. The winner goes to Dallas next week. 4th quarter action is next. You're listening to Saints football.
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot. With express mail overnight delivery service from your post office.
We deliver.
For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces.
We deliver for.
Sponsored by your Postal Service.
Automotive News says more than 2/3 of buyers dislike the negotiation process. USA Today says there's a better way to buy a car. Customer says One Price dealership is first choice.
Tired of the pressure and gimmicks? Are you looking for a hassle-free shopping experience? Come to Interstate Ford. No haggling, no come-on ads, just everyday low prices at Interstate Ford. Your volume new car, used car, and truck dealer, where every day is a sale day and our service is standard equipment. Interstate Ford on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie.
I've got 6 words for the President of the United States. The instant request and dedication party. One name, A.D. Berry. The time, 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. What it is, call me, 260-9393. If you're in New Orleans, out of town, 1-800-364-9393. I'll pay for the call. Get your requests on live. You are on the radio. I've just got 2 things to say. Do it and do it now.
The Saints are on Q93.
The 3rd quarter for the Eagles, time of possession-wise, they had it for 10-25, just as much as they had it for the entire first half. After 3 quarters, the Saints have 15 first downs to the Eagles 11. The Saints 70 net yards rushing to 72 for Philadelphia. The Saints with a big margin in passing, 228 to 142, 298 to 214 overall, and a 10-point lead with 15 minutes to play in regulation.
3 wide receivers on this 3rd down and 1 with Hayward behind Bobby Hebert. Saints are 3 of 7 on 3rd down conversions from the 29, 3rd down and 1. 6 men on the defensive line for Philadelphia. Hebert, the snap, looks quick over the middle, throws. It may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, intended for Eric Martin, and the Saints will have to punt it away.
Boy, I tell you, that ball was thrown a little bit behind Eric Martin, and much like the last play when Hobie Brenner made a nice catch, could have easily been intercepted. John Booty right there. Well, the Saints come out on a 3rd and less than a yard with 3 wide receivers and try a 3-step drop short pass and have to punt it away.
Barnhart had punts of 48 and 41 for a 44.5-yard average in the first half by Sikahema, who has an 87-yard return for a touchdown this year. Receives the punt at the 25-yard line, runs out of blocking and gets free, gains across the 30, the 35, and is tackled at the 36 or the 37-yard line. We have timeout on the field after the run back. The punt was 47 yards off the toe of Barnhart and a 14-yard return by Sikahema. Timeout on the field, proud sponsor of Saints Radio, BC Headache Powder. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster than BC Headache Powder. 20-10 Saints, 14:45 in the game.
Now this for Popeyes. Hi, football fans. This is Dave Garrett for your local Popeyes and the Saints Network with news of how you can win free Saints playoff tickets each week throughout the playoffs thanks to Popeyes Saints Super Sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Come into any participating Popeyes restaurant and pick up a registration form. Fill it out and mail it in. It's just that easy. Home game winners will receive 4 free game tickets, a complimentary tailgate party, and will participate in the Popeyes Pop of the Game pregame presentation. Road game winners will receive 2 free game tickets, airfare, accommodations at the team hotel, and $200 cash. There's a winner every week while the Saints are in the playoffs, and you can enter as many times as you like. And even if you haven't been one of the weekly winners, you're still eligible for the grand prize, which is an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 26 in Pasadena, California. So sign up now for the Saints Super Sweepstakes from Popeyes. There's still time for the best seats in the house. From your friends at Popeyes and the Saints Network. See store for details. Don't forget, Saints fans, there's a brand new publication devoted exclusively to giving you the inside story on the Saints. It, of course, is Saints Digest, 26 issues each year, weekly August through January, with 4 special off-season issues. Saints Digest, yours for $32.95 a year. Subscribe by calling toll-free 1-800-334-4005. That's 1-800-334-4005 for Saints Digest, with game coverage, action photos, player features, stats, and even a column by Archie Manning. 800-334-4005 for Saints Digest.
Saints only have 1 first down this half. Eagles with the football with 14:45 to play, and the crowd getting back into it on behalf of that defense, which has really risen to the occasion today.
Eagles 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Barnett in motion from left to right. 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. Cunningham back to pass. Has all day. Looks down the field for Barnett. Throws a long pass. Barnett reaches up. It's bobbled incomplete. And good defense by the Saints' Keith Taylor.
Well, once again, Cunningham throws a long pass. The coverage was good. It's just a slot formation after the motion. I don't think the primary receiver was to throw deep, but Cunningham just decided to take a chance. It's like the coverage was great all the way, but doggone it, Barnett didn't almost come up with a great catch.
2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. The Eagles have started at their own 20 twice and their own 38 once. They have 3 points to show for it. They also turned it over once and were 3 and out once. 2nd and 10 from the 36. 2 tight ends and 2 wideouts. Barnett on the left, Williams on the right. Cunningham under center, back to pass, swing pass to Sherman, complete. 35-40, boom, he's hit at the 40-yard line by Reggie Jones and bounced out of bounds. The clock will stop. It'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
That play really shouldn't hurt the Saints right there. They roll zone on both sides. Cunningham had nowhere to throw, just dumped it off on the swing pass. He did get about 5 yards.
Big play here. Saints need to stop them, get this thing back, do something a little more than they've done offensively in the second half here.
Yeah, all the 3rd down plays, Jim, are big at this point, because I felt like that was a big one there at the first play of the 3rd quarter when the Saints didn't convert on a 3rd and a half a yard.
3rd and 5 from the 41. Eagles are 2 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Out of the shotgun, the crowd gets loud. It's a low snap. Cunningham to pass, throws, complete. 1st down to Williams and out of bounds at the 48 or the 49-yard line. Eagles now have 8 first downs in the second half compared to 1 for the Saints. It's 1st and 10 near the 50.
Zone defense. Jimmy Spencer on the coverage out on the right side. He's got the deep 3rd. Calvin Williams just comes down, runs a hitch pattern, hooks it up about 6 yards. Cunningham with a good hard throw to the outside. Once again, the Saints didn't rush for 3 people. Pat Swilling stayed in the middle and acted as a spy in case Cunningham ran.
1st and 10 from the 49 in Eagles territory. 2 tight ends. Line up on the right side is Maurice Johnson with Byers on the left. Hand off to Sherman. Skips away from a tackler. Gets inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 7 at 2nd down and 3. Tackle by Sam Mills.
Another different look up front on the part of the Saints. Really almost like a 5-man line. And Ricky Jackson knifed through after the handoff and really had a chance to make the tackle in the backfield. Missed. Sherman got forward and picked up about 8.
Sherman has 12 carries for 57 yards. It's 2nd down and 3 from the Saints' 44-yard line. Eagles started at their own 36. Again, 2 tight ends and a wide receiver, both to the right. Handoff to Sherman up the middle. He runs into a logjam right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gained 2 yards down to the 42, where it should be 3rd down and a yard to go.
Well, probably be saying this for the next 12 minutes and 53 seconds, but a big 3rd down play coming up. Eagles, of course,
not in field goal range. You wonder if they might consider themselves in 4th-down territory right here.
Eagles are 3 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. They're 2 of 4 this half, though. On the last 3rd down and 5, an 8-yard pass was completed to Calvin Williams.
Well, Richie Kotite calls the plays. If they come out in a shotgun, I think they are. Now, if he knows they're in 4-down territory, they may run a draw play or something right here.
In motion, Byers out of the backfield, out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Cunningham gets the snap. He looks, throws over the middle, complete to Byers. 1st down at the 35-yard line, a 7-yard gain. 13 first downs for the Eagles now, compared to 15 for the Saints, and it was a 14-4 margin for the Saints in first downs at the end of the first half.
Well, Byers is really a go-to guy for Randall Cunningham. It's been a great back for him out of the backfield, catching the ball over the last 5 or 6 years. This year playing from the tight end spot. But on shotgun formation, many times he's in the slot as a wide receiver. He's slanted in right there. Once again, Cunningham made a good throw. 1st down.
Eagles on the drive. Byers tight end on the left. Maurice Johnson tight end on the right. Calvin Williams in motion out of the slot right to the left. Handoff fake to Sherman. Bootleg to the left. Cunningham looks. He lobs down the field. Thrown behind Byers. Incomplete. He was throwing on the run against his body and missed him.
I think Pat Swilling may have gotten his hand on that ball, and I think he's upset that he didn't intercept it.
Yeah, I tell you, Pat was in a bad spot. The bootleg was coming his way. If Pat comes up and takes Cunningham, he's going to be able to make an easy throw into Byers, who's running a crossing pattern and was open. Now, if Pat stays back, then Cunningham's going to run for the 1st down. Pat kind of decided to go in between. Fortunately, Cunningham did not make a good throw, and I think Pat got a hand on it. Nice defensive play by Pat Swilling.
2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Some of the fans on their feet. Brett Barnett wide to the left. Calvin Williams wide to the right. Keith Sherman, the only back behind Cunningham, under center. Straight back to pass on 2nd and 10. Pump fakes, flag on the play. He looks, throws long for Calvin Williams, but it's way out of bounds and incomplete. And let's read the flag. Illegal use of hands on Philadelphia.
You know what it's got to be? It's got to be the blocking on Ricky Jackson. Ricky had his helmet torn off him and still got in on the pass rush and was about to sack Cunningham. That's got to be the call.
Yeah, we got flags and helmets and everything falling all over the field out there.
You know,
airplanes, my goodness.
The coaches told us earlier in the week, Coach Moran.
Hands, jam to the head, number 78 of the offense, 10 yards, still 2nd down.
But the Saints are more of a bend and break defense and go for the big play. The Eagles have more of a dominating defense that can stuff you, but I kind of think the Saints bend and break has worked more than the Eagles dominating defense today.
Well, they've definitely created some confusion throughout the day for Randall Cunningham. Now, the Eagles are obviously doing a much better job here in the 2nd half of executing their plays. But this should be a costly penalty to them right here and allow the Saints to really tee off and come. The main thing here is don't let Cunningham scramble after a breakdown.
2nd and 20 from the 45-yard line. That's the 4th penalty for 37 yards. Jackson gets a good jump. There's a throw to Byers, complete at the 41, down to the 40 to the 35-yard line. A gain of 10. It'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 35.
I don't think I've ever seen Ricky Jackson come harder off that left corner. He was double teamed there and still got in on Cunningham. He's the ultimate warrior. I think Ricky could play without a helmet every week.
Oh, I agree 100%. He's getting a great jump off the ball today. Look at him right now, clapping his hands, the energy. He's got the enthusiasm. What a great football play. Hey, another good football player is Keith Byers. That was a nice catch there and got back 10 yards for the Eagles. I said it before, big 3rd down play.
Wide receivers left and right. Byers tied in on the left. One running back. Sherman behind Cunningham. Back to pass. He's throwing the fade route down the far side sideline. A leap. A caught.
Unbelievable.
It's touchdown for the Eagles. And Barnett double covered. Catches the ball. And the Eagles are now within 4.
Double covered is right. Just an unbelievable catch. Reggie Jones on the coverage. Gene Atkins coming over. They're both right there. Cunningham lays it up. One of the greatest catches you'll see. Just goes right up between 2 people, gets his hands on the ball, and brings it in.
Oh, yes, a great vertical leap. You know, they said prior to this game and reading some of the materials about him, he can dunk a basketball backward from a standstill, and he went flying into the air that one to pick it out of the air.
That's because he's from Gunnison, Mississippi.
Extra point by Ruzek is good. That capped the 9-play, 64-yard drive. And on each 3rd down opportunity, the Eagles converted in that drive. Their last one, a 35-yard pass to Barnett. The Eagles have almost caught up in first downs with the Saints. It's 20-17 after the point after. Timeout, 10:37 remaining in the game. Saints will have the football, leading by only 3. And you're listening to Saints football.
Hi there. I'm Q93's Uptown Angela all night long, each weeknight, Tuesday through Thursday from 2 a.m. to 5:30, with several reasons why you should check out my show. Number 1, we'll play all of your favorite jams for you. Number 2, we'll have some fun with the AM Forum when you'll get your chance to talk on the radio. And number 3, I'll give you half of my paycheck. Not. It's the most fun you'll ever have all night long with yours truly, Uptown Angela, on your number 1, Mo Music, Mo Money, Q93.
Car buyers, Ray Brett, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, slashing prices. Come in to Ray Brett Dodge tomorrow and get the 93 full-size Dodge van for only $11,995. Or get $6,000 off the 92 twin-turbo Stealth at Ray Brett Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for one Dodge dealer. That's Ray Brett Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge!
Finding the right home can take a lot of looking. Buying the home can take a lot of money. But getting the best lender can start with a single phone call to Jefferson Federal Savings Bank. We have lots of money for mortgages, and we have the experience to give you the personal service that you want from a lender. So when you find that perfect house, give us a call. We'll help make it a home. Jefferson Federal Savings Bank, an equal housing lender.
Hi, Q93's LBJ here, and the Oldies All-Request Lunch Hour happens every day at noon. While you're at work and you need something different to do, turn us on. 260-9393, give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. It's the Oldies All-Request Lunch Hour right here.
The Saints are on Q93.
Other than that 35-yard run with the swing pass by Vaughn Dunbar, the Saints have just 13 yards of offense in the second half. They've run just 8 plays.
3 deep to receive, Patrick Newman, Buford Jordan, and Vaughn Dunbar, with Dunbar in the middle and Ruzek to kick off after he boots through the point after, which followed Cunningham's 35-yard pass to Fred Barnett with a circus catch. 20-17, Saints with the lead will get the football back. Dunbar calling for it, will receive the kick, 2 yards deep, will come out, up to the 5, he's up to the 10, up to the 15, 20, up to the 25, and his trip fumbles the football, but the officials are going to call it down at the 25 after a 28-yard return, 1st and 10 Saints.
Now that was a heck of a tackle by Jeff Seidner. If he doesn't make that tackle, Dunbar might still be running.
He's probably going to get to the kicker if he doesn't make that tackle, and at least in midfield. Good hard running by Vaughn Dunbar. 25-yard line. Saints have got to get their offense back in the game and take control back of this football game.
4th possession of the second half. They turned it over on 1. Morton Anderson got a field goal on another. They had to punt it away on their 3rd.
Well, this is where you gather your offense and just say, hey, guys, it's just like the opening kickoff now. Nothing to nothing. Let's do our thing, balance the offense, run, pass, and get something going.
3 wide receivers, Torrance ball in motion from right to left. Dunbar is behind Bobby Hebert under center. Gets the snap, back to pass, looks over the middle, pressured, rolls out to the left, throws down the field. It's intercepted by the Eagles at the 40-yard line, 35, down to the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20, to the 19. Seth Joyner on the interception. It's a 20-yard return, and the Eagles get it back, and there's an all-out brawl on the field at the 25.
Yeah, they're going at it pretty good now. Well, once again, what happened right there on a drop-back pass, Bobby was pressured, was able to buy some time and get out to his left. But so many times when a quarterback's running to his left, he tried to throw the ball back over the middle, had absolutely nothing on it, did not see Seth Joyner. Poor decision by Bobby, and the Saints are in trouble.
10:15 remaining in the game. Hebert has thrown 2 second-half interceptions. Eric Allen picked one off. Seth Joyner did the other, and the Eagles have it 1st and 10. And let's see, they may have marked Seth Joyner out of bounds upfield from the 20. That's where they did. They did mark him out of bounds. He had stepped out. And we're marking the ball at the 25 or the 26-yard line. It's at the 26, 1st and 10 in Saints territory.
Well, the mistake Bobby made there. Bobby's running to his left. Eric's running to his right. Difficult throw. He got nothing on it. Now the defense, even though it's probably somewhat frustrated at this point, they've the ones got to take charge now.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Hand off to Heath Sherman. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Still running and gets down to the 24, a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up for Philadelphia. A field goal by Ruzek would tie it. They're in field goal range for Ruzek if the Saints defense stiffens here.
Jim Wilkes, Wayne Martin in on the tackle. Good gang tackling on the part of the Saints.
20-17, Saints on top. 9:53 remaining in the game. Clock moving. Eagles on the right side hash mark with Randall Cunningham to call the play in the huddle. Barnett will split wide to the left side. Calvin Williams wide to the right. Byers is the tight end on the left. And Maurice Johnson is the tight end on the right. Keith Sherman behind. Randall Cunningham under center on 2nd down and 8 from the 24. He's straight back to pass. There's flags on the play. Complete to Sherman on the left-hand side. He fumbles the football, but it goes out of bounds. We'll read the flags thrown at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised if they didn't get Ricky off sides here, but we'll await the call of Dale Hamer.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, James. Been getting a great jump all day, really anticipating the snap count, but they may have caught him there.
They did. Encroachment already indicated against Ricky Jackson. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the 19 unless they want to take the completion and the yardage, which they will not do. So it will be 2nd and 3 from the 19 after the penalty mark off.
Well, as you go along this series here we'll get the call from Dale Hamer.
Number 57 on the defense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
Well, David, Jim called one right. If Randall Cunningham is a smart quarterback, what he'll try to do on this drive, of course, is get his team in the end zone. Primarily, though, he can't take a sack, and he does not want to throw an interception. But I got a feeling somewhere along the line, he's going to want to put up another pass to Fred Barnett in the end zone.
.9:15 remaining in the game. That's only the 2nd penalty of the day against the Saints. Double tight end, 2 receivers to the right. Cunningham under center, Sherman behind Randall. Handoff goes to Sherman. He jukes at the 20, runs into a stone wall, comes free of the tackle, tripods down to the 15 for the 1st down. It's a 4-yard gain and 1st down at the 15-yard line for the Eagles.
That tripod got him a 1st down right there. Boy, the Saints had him stopped a couple of times, and he kept wiggling, kept bouncing it to the outside. Did a great job of getting, boy, just a big power-up right there. He bounces off, cuts back inside of Sam Mills, and gets himself a 1st down. Big 1st down. 15-yard line now for the Eagles. First and 10.
20-17. Saints on top. Clock now inside 8.5 minutes. Barnett wide to the left. Calvin Williams wide to the right. Still 2 tight ends. 1st down. Heath Sherman behind Cunningham, who's under center. Handoff straight away to Sherman. Runs right behind center and picks up 3 yards down to the 12, but no more. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
Well, throughout the day, the Eagles have played come out with a lot of ace formation. Many times now they brought one of their receivers in motion across the line. By ace, of course, I mean 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 1 running back. That running back's been Heath Sherman most of the time. He hasn't done a lot of motion lately, just giving it to Sherman straight ahead.
He's got 16 carries for 68 yards. Herschel Walker has virtually disappeared in this game. 3 carries, 3 yards.
From the 12, 2nd and 7. Eagles with 2 slots to the right. Now Byers in motion. Cunningham back to pass. Looking for Byers. He throws. It's caught at the 9 and down by Reggie Jones. Byers, though, leaned forward and got close to the 1st down. Ridden down by Reggie Jones. Down around the 6 or the 7-yard line.
This guy's a money player. I tell you, Randall Cunningham has so much confidence in Keith Byers. He's been a great pass receiver out of the backfield for years now. This year playing some tight end, going in motion from a tight end spot. They'll play him in the slot. He's just a good football player, got a good feel for the game, knows how to get open, catches the football.
Eagles are 5 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. That was a 6-yard gain. 3rd down and 1 from the 6-yard line. Saints would like to hold the Eagles to a field goal.
Let's see if they might do something with Cunningham running the ball right here on a sprint out.
3rd and 1 from the 6. Cunningham handoff to Sherman, sweeping to the left, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1, and he scores. Sherman off left tackle, bounces outside, and the Eagles have taken the lead over the Saints for the 1st time today.
Pretty good blocking there. 2 tight ends, but the 2 receivers to the right side. Looked like the tight end on that side just hooked Pat Swilling, and Sherman pretty much had a free run to the left side into the end zone.
This is only a 5-play drive that started at the Saints 26 after Hebert's pass was intercepted by Seth Joyner in the Girard Street end zone, with Fiegels holding Ruzek to attempt the extra point that would make it 24-20. Here's the snap by Beach. It's a little low. The kick in the air, and it's good. It's a 4-point lead for the Eagles, 24-20. Eagles over the Saints. First Eagles lead of the day with 6:48 remaining in the game. We'll pause for these messages. Saints down by 4. Now this for Southwest Airlines.
There are only so many hours in a day, so many days in a week. And if you believe time is money, you'd better be getting the most out of every business day. How? Fly Southwest Airlines, the only airline built to save you time. From the beginning, Southwest Airlines has done things differently to make your business day more productive and efficient. Just take a look at our flight schedule. It's specifically designed around the times you need to fly, with a total of 13 flights to Dallas and 16 to Houston every business day. And Southwest has one of the best on-time records in the industry, so you can get down to business a lot quicker and not waste time and money. Southwest Airlines also serves close-in, uncongested airports like Dallas Love Field and Houston Hobby, saving you time on the road, as well as cab fare. It's really very simple. While all airlines were built to fly you places, only one was built to save you time. Southwest Airlines, the most convenient airline you can fly, with the lowest unrestricted fares. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
The Isle of Capri Casino introduces Caribbean Fun Spots. Collect Caribbean Fun Spots for more fun and more value. It's colorful, exciting, and very rewarding. Get your Caribbean Fun Spots at Mississippi's favorite fun spot, the Isle of Capri Casino at Point Cadet in Biloxi. For information, call 1-800-THE-ISLE.
The Isle of Capri Casino.
This game is brought to you by Tabasco brand products, Tabasco brand pepper sauce, 7-spice chili, Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix. Like the Saints, they're a Louisiana legend. Also, proud sponsors of Saints on Radio, your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, there's only one Jeep. And today's game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Radio Network. Flying the newest pure jet fleet in America, Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart.
And now the burden shifts to Bobby Hebert's shoulders. He has to do what he hasn't done all his career here, and that's lead the Saints in the closing minutes to a winning touchdown against a quality opponent. And there's certainly a quality opponent on the other sideline in the Philadelphia Eagles. Bobby, in large measure, contributed to the situation the Saints are in at the moment. He's got to bail them out.
Hebert with 2 interceptions thrown in the second half. Sherman scores on a 6-yard run that capped a 5-play, 26-yard drive, and only 3:27 after the last Hebert interception. Here's Dunbar letting the kick go through the end zone for the touchback, and the Saints will have it for their 5th offensive possession of the second half. They have only 1 first down to speak for all of those offensive possessions, and that was that 35-yard swing pass to Vaughn Dunbar. Saints will start at their own 20.
Well, it really hasn't been the same game for the Saints in the second half since that interception after they took the 20-7 lead by Eric Allen on the 1st and 10 throw. It's been Philadelphia ever since, and they have scored on a field goal by Ruzick of 40 yards, a 35-yard touchdown pass from Cunningham to Barnett, and the 6-yard run by Sherman to overtake the Saints.
Well, Ironhead will be the running back, the only one. 3 wide receivers, Hobie Brenner the tight end. Eagles are jammed in tight with a Bear defense, 3 defensive linemen over the center and both guards.
Martin's in the slot to the left. Early and Small, the other 2 receivers. Hebert back to pass, has time, dumps it off in the flat, coming back for the ball. We've got a flag on the play. Was it incomplete? It was. Quinn Early dropped it at the 32-yard line, but we've got a flag in the defensive secondary.
Yeah, it's a flag in the secondary. Bobby had a little pressure, hung in there tight. It's like this is going to go against the Saints.
Dale Hamer is the referee, and we'll hear from him in just a moment.
Can't imagine what a receiver, it's a receiver that the ball was not thrown in his direction.
It's going to be on Eric Martin, who's pleading his case. Here's Dale Hamer.
Pass interference, offense, number 84, 10 yards, still first down.
1st and 20 now for the Saints, back at the 10-yard line. 6:36 remaining in the game. Eagles leading the Saints 24-20. The Saints have scored only once here in the second half. The Eagles have scored 3 times.
Was Eric the intended receiver there? I couldn't see.
Quinn Early.
Eric must have just pushed off on the other side of the field.
Eric still jawing with someone on the right side in the formation.
Well, still 1st and 20 now. You don't have to get it all here. Just get 5, 7, 8 at a time and get us a first down.
Hebert back to pass, stands at the 2, passes over the middle. It's blocked right at the line of scrimmage by Mike Golick, who did get the start today at left tackle, and it's 2nd down and 20.
And this is an entirely different offense from the first half. Bobby doesn't look confident back there. He's not throwing the ball with confidence, and the Saints are getting nothing accomplished offensively.
Vaughn Dunbar checks in for Ironhead.
2nd down, 20 from the 10-yard line. Saints have picked up only 1 first down in the second half. They led by 10 first downs, 14-4 at the first half, and now Philly has 15 first downs.
Saints stay with their 3 receivers set, keeping that tight end in primarily to help block.
2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Hebert pressured, screen pass, caught by Dunbar, but it's tackled right at the 5-yard line for a 5-yard loss.
Byron Evans read that screenplay all the way. Actually, probably a better play there would have just been to throw it away. Evans actually could have intercepted the ball as he went probably man-to-man coverage. He went with Vaughn Dunbar and was out there before the ball was even thrown.
Well, it's only -3, only rather than only -5, but still a loss on the play, and it's 3rd down and 23 yards to go back at the 7-yard line.
Well, you almost wish that pass had been incomplete just so the clock would be stopped. Not only the Saints have a 3rd and 23, which is tough, but the clock is running.
Saints are 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They're 3 of 8 in the ball game. 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. That's Torrance Small to the right. Early, Carroll and Martin to the left. A blitz on. Hebert stands in the end zone. He's tackled in the end zone. And is it a safety? Yes, it is a safety. The Eagles will get the football back, and the Saints are down 26-20.
Well, it's not a big thing as far as the points right here. There's really no difference. 24-20 and 26-20. The big thing, though, of course, is the Eagles will get the football. On a punt, the Saints from the 20-yard line, they'll probably come away with pretty good field position. Of course, they would have had good field position anyway, though, the Saints punting out of the end zone.
Reggie White sacked Bobby Hebert for the safety.
Actually, in that case, I mean, things don't look real good for the Saints at that point, but I can't really say any harm done on that safety right there. The Saints 2 points further behind and will probably have the Eagles further away from the end zone than would have been the case if they were punting from their own end zone.
And Reggie White just overpowered Stan Brock. He pancaked him, put him right on his back, and in the process fell in on Hebert's ankles and sacked him for the safety. And it's a 6-point lead now for the Eagles with 5:36 to play, and more than a few of the 68,893 head for the exits.
Well, I don't think it's time to head for the exit. Saints should be able to get the ball back if the defense can go in and stop the Eagles.
Our thanks to Perlis and Cajun Clothing Company for outfitting our radio team today in cotton crawfish shirts and blazers. See all the styles of crawfish shirts at Perlis Magazine in the Esplanade, and Cajun Clothing Company in Jack's Brewery, the Riverwalk, and Oakwood, Cortana, and Acadiana malls. Also, Pennzoil and Walmart are kicking in a little extra during this holiday season to the Children's Miracle Network. Walmart and Pennzoil are teaming up and making a cash donation to the Children's Miracle Network as our way of supporting your team and community. 5:36 remaining in the final period. Saints down by 6 now, 26-20, and it will be Tommy Barnhart to punt from the 20-yard line.
Except for one short pass to Vaughn Dunbar where he made a great play on the run. The Saints offense has been totally inept in the second half. At this point, though, you just got to believe and try to make something happen. Get a turnover, get the ball back, and get a touchdown.
Sikahema from the 25 after the punt from Barnhart. He gains across the 35 to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Eagles will start just inside their own 40, 1st and 10, and the Saints defense gets some encouragement.
And what they've got to do is keep Sherman from hurting him on the ground, get the Eagles in a passing situation, and hope that the defense, which has provided so many big plays, including 6 turnovers for touchdowns this season, can bring them back with one more.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch the play calling of the Eagles. Now, the Saints have all 3 timeouts, and I think they'll use at least 1 timeout somewhere here in this series. It'll be interesting to see, though, if the Eagles run the ball, especially on 1st and 2nd down.
Brent Barnett wide to the left. Calvin Williams in the slot to the left. Maurice Johnson, the tight end, on the right, and Byers in the slot, now in motion from left to right. Handoff goes to Sherman up the middle. Jukes a player, running room, 40, 45, still running. 1st down to the 49-yard line and maybe the 50 before he's finally hauled down by a couple of Saints defenders, including Toy Cook, and also in on the tackle, Keith Taylor.
Well, it just should not happen. Excellent blocking up front by the Eagles. They get that ball to Sherman. He cuts back to the left side.
And as much as taking the Saints out of the game, it's taken this crowd out of the game as they had one last hurrah in behalf of the Saints defense, and now they're silenced again by that 1st down pickup for the Eagles. Clock running, showing less than 4:50 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Saints down by 6.
Well, the Eagles have I think they'll definitely run the ball here. Saints might ought to use up a timeout here. If not here, definitely after their 2nd down.
It was an 11-yard run. Handoff goes to Sherman again, and he crosses the 50 and gets too much down to the 45. It'll be a 6-yard run, and 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Eagles. Clock moving, 4.5 remaining in the game.
Well, the clock will move here. Eagles will come up 2nd and 4. Once again, they'll run the ball. And I think the Saints, if they can't stop them short of a 1st down, will have to use up a timeout.
Clock still moving, 4:13 remaining in the game. A safety
after a Sherman 6-yard touchdown run, has given the Eagles its 6-point lead. Clock now moving inside 4 minutes. Barnett will go wide to the left. Williams wide to the right. In the slot to the right is Keith Byers. Now he lines up as a tight end. Keith Sherman behind quarterback Randall Cunningham, who hands off to Sherman, sweeping to the left, gets away from a would-be tackler, running to the 40, 35, 30, and out of bounds. Keith Sherman with lots and lots and lots of running room gets down to the 30-yard line, about a 16-yard gain.
That's 129 yards on the ground for the Eagles here today, and of course each time the Saints have allowed a team to rush for more than 100 yards against them, they have not won a game this year.
Well, it's just terrible right there. When you know the team's going to run the football, they give it to their back. He takes it once again outside of Pat Swilling, down the sideline. The only good news for the Saints is he did run out of bounds and stop the clock. But another first down. And the really bad news is the Eagles are easing into field goal territory, which will be, the game will be over if they do kick a field goal.
2 wide receivers to the right and 2 tight ends, and Herschel Walker's in the backfield. He gets the handoff, skips across the 30. Saints tried to pull the ball out of his hands. Walker falls down to the 27-yard line, a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 yards to go from the 27. 2nd and 8, rather, for the Eagles, who have picked up 2 first downs on this drive.
Clock moving at 3:30. The Saints must use a timeout somewhere during this series, probably if they can stop them here on this 2nd down.
Each team has 3 timeouts remaining. Randall Cunningham getting the play signaled in from the sideline. Now he goes to the huddle, and the clock moves inside 3:15.
Well, 14 on the 45-second clock. I think Randall will use every bit of it. I think they'll come, of course, with another running play here.
2 wide receivers to the left. Byers the tight end on the right. Handoff to Walker, trying to sweep left. He's being chased by Johnson. Is collared by Johnson. Walker fumbled the ball out of bounds, but he got very close to the first down. He needed 8. He got 7. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 20-yard line.
And the clock continues to run.
Saints need to use a timeout.
They do.
Saints call a timeout, and we'll keep it right here in the Superdome with 2:48 remaining in the final period of play. 26-20 Eagles.
Well, let's analyze this second half for the Saints offensively. They certainly didn't go into a shell with their play calling, but their execution just became abysmal.
Yeah, the execution has been terrible. Let's go back to the last play of the 3rd quarter. Right at the end of the 3rd quarter, a 3rd and a half a yard. The Saints needed very much to get a first down, retain the football, make the chains move. Decided to throw a 3-step drop. Bobby threw the ball behind Eric Martin, had to punt it away. Eagles get points, and then the Saints have done nothing since. They've just been totally inept on offense. The intercept tried on a first down, tried a long pass. There's nothing wrong with the long pass, but the ball really should have been thrown more down the field, not toward the middle, where an offside cornerback was able to come over and make the interception, resulted in 3 points for the Eagles.
And that's where the momentum really changed. At that time, the Saints were leading 20-7, and the Eagles have done all the scoring since to lead by 6.
It's 3rd and inches, although it will be 3rd down and 1. It's very short to go here for the first down.
Well, Saints have got to just jam it up in the middle here and try to stop making this first down. I know at that point they'd try a field goal.
Sherman gets a handoff, hit in the backfield. He's dropped for a loss. Back to the 22-yard line. Swilling hit him first. And the Saints burn another timeout with 2:40 remaining in the game. The defense comes up with a play here. And let's see if the special teams can get in on Roger Ruzek.
Well, the Saints do have a chance if Ruzek will miss this field goal.
2:40 remaining in the game. Swilling hit him first. He was swarmed by 2 other defenders, needing to get to the 19. There was a loss of a couple on the play. Back to the 22. It's 4th down and 3.
Last week, Ruzek had a 40-yarder blocked against the Giants. He's had 3 of them blocked this season. Gee, this would be a dandy play for a 4th, wouldn't it?
You got that right.
26-20. The Eagles, trailing 20-7, got a Ruzek 40-yard field goal to make it 20-10. A Cunningham 35-yard pass to Barnett, who made a miraculous catch to make it 20-17. Sherman 6-yard run with a point after to make it 24-20 Eagles. And then a safety A-Bear sack by Reggie White, 26-20. It is a 39-yard field goal attempt.
He's just 6 for 13 this year on 40-49. If he misses this, the Saints will win.
Here comes the snap from Pat Beach with Fiegels to hold a 29-yard field goal attempt. The ball is in the air, and it is good down the middle of the uprights. And the Eagles go up by 9, 29-20 with 2:36 remaining in the game.
Well, you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit on that drive. They took the ball, never threw a pass, marched it down. How many did they get? At least 3 or 4 first downs.
Two. They got 2.
Got 2 first downs. They got some long runs along the way.
An 11-yard run by Sherman, another 16-yard run by Sherman in that drive.
You'd never think that would happen against the Saints defense when they know they're going to run the football.
In the second half, the Eagles have 13 first downs, 94 yards rushing, and 136 passing. This is the Saints offense. 1 first down, 7 yards rushing, and 38 passing.
Wow. 29-20 Eagles. It's quiet in the Superdome. And unless we see a miracle here, it's 0-4 in the playoffs.
Well, the Saints, of course, are down by 9. It takes 2 scores to win the game, a touchdown and a field goal. I'm sure the Eagles are going to play very loose. Saints are going to have to drive the ball. They got 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning left. And don't forget, you can go ahead and take your field goal before the touchdown. You got to get 2 scores anyway. You kick them, if you get in position, you kick a field goal, try the onside kick, come back and get the touchdown and win the game.
It'll be Ruzek to kick off from the 35-yard line with 2:36 remaining here in the final period of play. Eagles leading by 9, 29-20. Dunbar, Newman, and Buford Jordan, along with Craig Hayward, deep to receive this kickoff. The upbacks are Wainwright and Stowers. And Ruzek after booting a 39-yard clutch field goal to kick off. Dale Hamer says boot it away. Hang on for the final 2:36. We'll see what happens. It is very quiet in the Superdome. Here's Ruzek approaching the football. And he'll get a deep kickoff. It'll be taken by Patrick Newman at the goal line. He's up to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. He's tackled at the 16. A 16-yard run back. 1st and 10 Saints. Down to 2:28 on the clock. Tackle made by James Joseph of Philadelphia.
And you can somewhat see the resignation with which the Saints run onto the field now in the final 2:28 to take over one last time. And not only will this be a tough one to swallow because the playoff drought continues, but it'll be the way they've lost another one. A commanding first half, and then absolutely nothing out of the offense in the second half, and the defense surrendering 29 points. I don't think many people would have thought that this game would ever have seen the Philadelphia Eagles score 29 against that Saints defense.
4 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Hebert gets the snap, back to pass, big rush, and he just has to dump the ball off incomplete in the vicinity of Vaughn Dunbar. Andy Harmon with a big rush at 2nd and 10 from the 16, and the clock moves down to 2:25.
God, what a rush by Andy Harmon. Probably not even to set up on a screen play or a short pass right there. I think there's a little screen pass to Vaughn Dunbar.
Yeah, Harmon really threw Port to one side and came in and strongly on Hebert and dumped him as he threw the ball away.
This is only the 12th play from scrimmage in the second half for the Saints. Out of the shotgun, Dunbar in the backfield with Bobby Hebert from the 16-yard line, and Wesley Carroll in motion from right to left. Hebert with the snap, big rush, throw to the flat, intercepted by the Eagles, and a score for Eric Allen, running it in from 18 yards out. And the Eagles will go to Dallas next week to play the Cowboys in the second round of the playoffs, and in their slump for playoff wins that has lasted since 1980.
Well, the Saints just totally went dead in the second half. In that case, Bobby Hebert trying to throw a sideline out to the left side. Granted, under pressure, threw it out there. Allen right to him, walks it into the end zone. 35-20 Eagles.
You know, oftentimes it's your last game of the season that provides the feeling about your football team the entire offseason, no matter what it's done prior to that. If you base it on the way this game has ended, it's not very encouraging in many aspects.
No, anyone, and a lot of people will, and rightfully so, can talk about here's the extra points, good by Ruzek, but can talk about a 12-win season, but I think it's going to fall on a lot of deaf ears as far as the way this game has ended, and the way it's been played on part of the Saints.
We have a flag down running into the kicker, Toy Cook, and it'll be penalized on the kickoff, I do believe. 36-20 is our score. Saints fall to 12-5 on the year, and the Eagles will move to 12-5 on the year and play the Cowboys next week.
Defense, penalty will be assessed on a kickoff. Point is good.
Since 101 in the third period, the Eagles have scored 6 times.
My goodness. My goodness. Everybody went into a shell. The Bobby just couldn't execute. Very similar to some of the other losses late in the season against tough teams. They just didn't look like the same team when it was on the line in the second half, and they had a chance to put the Eagles away.
2:17 remaining. The Saints will get the football back. And then we'll have the 2-minute warning, and then the end of the 1992-93 season.
Well, we can hear the Eagle coaches next door to us talking down to Eric Allen on the sideline and saying, "Congratulations, Eric, on a great play." And that was the kill shot. Not that the Saints had much of a chance prior to that, but it's a 16-point lead now with just over 2 minutes remaining.
Our pick for this week's Popeyes Pop of the Game was a Ricky Jackson sack and a fumble cause back in the first half. Ricky will probably give to his own foundation $500 in recognition of that Pop of the Game. Congratulations to Ricky Jackson and the Ricky Jackson Foundation for this week's Popeyes Pop of the Game.
Of course, Bobby Hebert came into today's game without impressive numbers against the Eagles, throwing 40%, 2 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I thought a very good first half by Bobby, but it's gone downward in the second half. He did have a touchdown today against the Eagles, but he's thrown 3 interceptions here.
Eagles kicks this one off from the 50 instead of Ruzek. The penalty marked off after running into the kicker, a 15-yard penalty, and Fiegels kicks off from the 50 through the end zone. The clock moves down to 2:13, and the Saints will have the football at their own 20.
And there can't be 3,000 people left here, although those that are still here exercising their right to boo off the way the Saints have finished this one. Another very disheartening loss. I think you'd have to say, all things considered the most disheartening loss of the 4 in the playoffs with the way the Saints came into this game.
Yeah, I really think so. I think so. Of course, disappointed back in '87, but gosh, the Saints were never in the game with the Vikings, and Chicago was a better deal and a better team in Chicago. The Saints disappointing last year against Atlanta because winning the division, but with the injuries, how far were they going to go even if they beat Atlanta?
But 4 wide receivers, and Bobby Hebert will run a quarterback draw after he bobbled the ball for a moment, and he gets up to the 26-yard line. That'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. Mike Flores on the tackle. There's timeout at the 2-minute warning. Eagles lead the Saints 36-20. You're listening to Saints football.
If it's sports, you've got to know all the scores. Baseball, football, hockey, and more. If it's about the Saints, you want to know all the updates. The decision makers, Jim Finch and the Jim Moore Show. And who knows the Saints better than our favorite quarterback? The Archie Manning Show. Where can you get all of this and a whole lot more? Q93 sister station, Sports 1280 AM. Sports 24 hours a day. So while the other stations are reporting what they predict, hear it from the horse's mouth. Sports 24 hours a day. Only on Sports 1280 AM.
It's Shoetown and Foot & Fashion's clearance sale, now in progress. All locations of Shoetown and Foot & Fashion are saving you 75% off all merchandise with green dots. Men's and boys branded athletic shoes by Nike, Reebok, and Converse, 75% off. Men's team caps and t-shirts by Nike and Salem, 75% off. Women's dress and casual shoes, 75% off. Save 75% off all merchandise marked with green dots at all Shoetown and Foot & Fashion locations.
Hey, George, I heard you just purchased a new heat pump.
Yeah, Bill had it installed last week.
Why in the world did you buy a heat pump?
Well, a heat pump's one piece of equipment that provides comfortable heating and cooling with just the flick of a switch. And for each unit of electricity that goes in, you get 3 units of heat out. I mean, it's like getting... We'll provide you with a list of qualified member contractors in your area.
Got a request and dedication you want to send way across town, another state? Pick up the phone and get on the instant request and dedication party, Monday through Thursday, starting at 10 p.m. with A.D. Berry on Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
We're set for the final 2 minutes of play. The Saints have it 2nd and 4 from their own 26-yard line. Dunbar the block for Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Hebert dumps it off to Dunbar. He bobbles the ball. It's incomplete, and coming up for a possible interception was Eric Allen, but Dunbar wasn't looking for the pass. It's 3rd and 4.
Eric Allen looking for his 3rd interception of the game. He certainly turned in 2 big plays. The momentum changer back in the 3rd quarter, and then the kill shot just moments ago, the 18-yard return of the interception for the 16-point lead.
3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line.
Hebert is 2 of 9 for 3 yards here in the second half when you subtract that pass to Dunbar.
And including a couple of interceptions as well.
There's a snap to Hebert, back to pass on third down. He throws. It's caught by Torrance Small at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10, a 6-yard gain to the 32. That's the first down for the Saints in the fourth quarter, and only their second of the ball game. And the Saints call a timeout.
40 seconds.
Why? Well, they've gotten to this precipice so often, and this time with more optimism than ever before with the quality of team they had. You know, they were talking about a monkey before. It's no longer a monkey once you get to the playoffs for the New Orleans Saints right now.
Yeah, and it's so hard to get here, though. Yeah. And it's so hard. You say, gosh, it's not like, you got a losing streak going of, say, back when we did in 1980, where you can go out the next Sunday and try to win a game and break that losing streak. This involves the playoffs. Now you got to wait not only an entire offseason, but try to play well enough to get to the playoffs again and break and beat this stigma. And it really does make you wonder, with the age of the team, if free agency does come about because of a new collective bargaining agreement and players will start moving and so forth, just what kind of team or who will be involved with the Saints team when they tee it up next September.
And 1:46 remaining after the timeout, Jim.
It just continues to reinforce, too, the feeling that so many Saints fans have. And for good reason when you look at the statistics and you look at what has occurred, that the Saints can beat 4 teams and fall short against big teams, especially in big games, as they have once again here today with a total collapse in the second half.
Out of the shotgun, 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Hebert gets the snap, steps up, throws to Eric Martin, in and out of his hands and incomplete. He was going to be blistered by Otis Smith anyway, and was, but Martin misses the pass. The clock will stop with 1:41 to continue the agony here in the Superdome. Eagles up 36-20, and in the final 16:01 in the game, the Eagles scored 6 times. A Ruzek 40-yard field goal, a Cunningham 35-yard pass to Barnett, a Sherman 6-yard touchdown run. Hebert was sacked by Reggie White for a safety. Ruzek a 39-yard field goal, and Eric Allen an 18-yard interception return for a score. 36-20 Eagles. Out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 10 from the 32-yard line. Hebert rolls to his right, sets up at the 25, chase, passes at the 30, complete, upfield to Quinn Early at the 48-yard line, and he dances out of bounds, a 16-yard reception. 1:33 remaining in the game. 1st and 10 Saints at the 48. Actually just a little upfield from the 48, and Early marches back up on the field, back up to the huddle. 17 first downs for the Saints now in the game. That matches the Eagles' 17, but it's been a lot of different kinds of scoring for the Eagles in the second half.
Saints still using a 3 wide receiver set instead of 4. I'm sure primarily because of the pass rush. Hobie Brenner not even going out for a pass, staying in to help block. Little dump off here to Vaughn Dunbar.
Hebert over the middle to Dunbar at the 45, and he leans down for a first down to the 41-yard line. Clock moving with 1:23 remaining. Saints come up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. That's their 18th first down of the game. An 11-yard pass to Dunbar over the middle. Out of the shotgun. Martin wide right. Early and Carroll wide to the left. Hebert passes in the flat again to Vaughn Dunbar at the 35-yard line, and he's down. 6 yards on the gain and 1:03 remaining in the contest. Saints will go with no huddle.
And if you look for any sign of optimism, and they're hard to find in this game, it has to be the play of Vaughn Dunbar here today, who had really contributed to what looked like it would be a Saints victory, especially with Dalton Hilliard getting hurt in the first quarter and not coming back.
Out of the shotgun, pass thrown, complete to Quinn Early on the near side sideline. He leans down to the 23 of the 22. It's a 1st and 10 Saints. 12 yards on the pass reception, 19 first downs on the day. Tackle made by Otis Smith. Saints have 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line. Pass to Early again, and he gets out of bounds at the 15 with 26 ticks left in the game. That's an 8-yard reception.
On the previous play, Eric Allen tried for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Took a big gamble there.
We have a flag in the defensive secondary. 26 seconds remaining, and there may have been too many men on the field for Philadelphia. And we'll hear the explanation, maybe, by Dale Hamer.
They may pick it up. They recounted.
So 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. They have not moved the stakes yet, though. No, he needed to get down to the 13. Beg your pardon. So it'll be a 2nd down.
Defense, early decline, 2nd down.
Well, here in New Orleans, they're asking tonight, how can a team play so well in the first half and so badly in the second? Same question they're asking over in Houston.
Yeah, boy, what a couple of comebacks in playoff games today.
Buffalo winning in overtime, 41-38. Hebert out of the shotgun with 26 seconds remaining. 2 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Hebert with the snap. Steps up, throws to the end zone. It's tipped and incomplete, and Early is slammed to his back after the pass was incomplete. 20 seconds remaining in the game. We'll pause 15 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Saints football.
CJ and Company in the morning.
The oldies All Request lunch hour.
AUD.
The All Request and dedication party.
93 in a row.
Oh, money.
And now the Saints. You're listening to Q93, WQUE FM New Orleans, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
Welcome back to the Superdome. Saints are 4 of 10 on third down conversions. They'll go with 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Vaughn Dunbar blocking for Bobby Hebert with 20 seconds remaining. Third down and 2 from the 15. There's the snap. Hebert to pass over the middle. Throws. Caught by Martin at the 9-yard line. Down to the 7-yard line. And that's an 8-yard gain and a first down. And the Saints hurry to the line of scrimmage to try to get something going here before the gun sounds. 5 seconds. Hebert gets the snap. Throws a fade to the end zone. It's overthrown and incomplete, and that was the last play of the ball game. Saints drop this one 36-20, and that's this year's game broadcast. Stay tuned for the wrap-up show. In 2 minutes, you're listening to Saints football.
The law office of Cardell Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardell Thomas and his associates has assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results.
Automotive News says more than 2/3 of buyers dislike the negotiation process. USA Today says there's a better way to buy a car. Customer says One Price dealership is first choice.
Tired of the pressure and gimmicks? Are you looking for a hassle-free shopping experience? Come to Interstate Ford. No haggling, no come-on ads. Just everyday low prices at Interstate Ford. Your volume new car, used car, and truck dealer, where every day is a sale day and our service is standard equipment. Interstate Ford on Veterans Boulevard in Metairie.
Just a couple of words about the #1 rated midday show in New Orleans radio. Hi there, I'm Q93's OBJ, and we'd like to thank you for making us #1 in middays with segments like the Oldies All Request Lunch Hour. Diamond rings, precious thing, and we never want to lose it. And Star Quiz.
Who is the artist who helped revive George Clinton's recording career? Can you name the female singer who recorded a Donny Hathaway song for the Malcolm X soundtrack?
Of course, none of this would be possible without you. #1 in middays, and thank you, New Orleans, for making it that way. Don't forget the Oldies All Requested Lunch Hour. And, of course, Star Quiz. Thank you for making us #1 in middays. More music, more money. Your #1, Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
Saints football proudly sponsored on radio by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Welcome back to the Superdome. The Saints dropped this one today, 36-20. The Eagles advance to play the Dallas Cowboys next week at Texas Stadium. Buffalo today, also in overtime, defeated the Houston Oilers at Rich Stadium, 41-38. 2 big-time comebacks in pro football today. Welcome to our wrap-up show. Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson. We'll be going to the locker room shortly. This game started out on a great note. The Saints elected to receive the opening kick after winning the toss, and on their first drive marched 8 plays and 63 yards. On 1st and goal from the 1, Craig Hayward gets the first score of the day. An H-back to the right, split backfield. Handoff goes to Hayward over right tackle. Touchdown Saints. It's 6-0 with 9:20 remaining. with the 1-yard touchdown run, capped an 8-play, 73-yard drive. Saints burned up 5:40 on the clock with Saints 7 and Eagles nothing. The Eagles come back, though, in their second possession, starting at their own 20-yard line, and after a Cunningham scramble on a 3rd and 2 to set up 1st and 10 from the 43, Cunningham finds a wide-open Fred Barnett for a score. Cunningham changing to play at the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 43-yard line. Fake handoff, play action. Cunningham back to pass. He wants to go long down the field for Barnett. It's caught at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. 4 plays, 80 yards, 2:05 off the clock with 3:22 remaining in the first quarter of play. Saints and Eagles are tied at 7-7. But the Saints go back up on a Morton Anderson field goal, 10-7, after receiving the football at the 12-yard line after a punt. The Saints drive 71 yards, 13 plays. The drive stalled at the 17. Anderson booted a 35-yard field goal. That made it 10-7. Eagles 3 and out. Saints come back to score at their own 47, a 20-yard pass to Early. 1st and 10 at the 33. A 24-yard run by Vaughn Dunbar. 1st and goal at the 9. A 2-yard run. 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. Bobby Hebert finds Quinn Early. Colby Brenner shifts to tight end on the right. 2 wide receivers to the right. Eric Martin is not in the lineup. Torrance Ball in motion out of slot right to the left with Vaughn Dunbar behind Hebert. Straight back to pass. Looks. Throws for the corner of the end zone. Is it caught? Touchdown Saints. A flag on the play. He was interfered with, but the pass is caught by Quinn Early for the score. Saints lead at halftime, 17-7. But oh, what a change ahead. We'll have more in a moment after these network messages. The final score, Philadelphia 36, the Saints 20. This is the Saints Network.
Power, VC power.
When your job gives you a powerful headache, you need the power of VC.
Power, VC power.
In this auto body shop, you get a headache just walking in the door.
VC power and the powder. The power of VC.
Somebody's hammering out dents over here or running a grinder over there. So there's always noise.
VC power in the powder. The power of VC.
Then on top of that, there's fumes. Pretty soon your head starts pounding like a sledgehammer.
You need something to see you through. Something strong so you feel like new.
Around here, there's headaches just looking for a place to happen. But VC knocks them right out.
VC power in the powder. The power of VC.
When you need strong relief, VC stops pain fast.
The power of VC.
Use as directed.
Recently, Motor Trend magazine named Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 Truck of the Year. But considering the fun most people have driving it, it could be the thrill of the year. So now, in honor of the holidays, your Jeep and Eagle dealer is hosting a holiday toy sale. Check out Grand Cherokee, plus save on every Jeep vehicle in stock. Don't miss it, and don't miss the toys that never stop being fun. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
When you're spending hard-earned money on electronics, appliances, and home office equipment, it's good to know there'll always be a store you can trust. Sears Brand Central. You can count on more top brands, more service people, affordable credit options, and most important, a name backed by over 100 years of quality, integrity, and constant good values. No wonder more people buy more top brands from the store they trust. Sears Brand Central.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Superdome. We're ready with the second half summary. Saints were leading 17-7, and we're about to go up 20-7 on our big play and our Popeyes pop of the game. Eagles opened up on the offense first and picked up 4 first downs and had it 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line in Saints territory when Randall Cunningham goes back to pass and meets Ricky Jackson. This is the 9th play of the drive with Green wide to the left. Williams out of the slot right in motion. Cunningham back to pass. He's hit. He's sacked. At the 32-yard line. There is your pop of the game. Ricky Jackson with the sack, the fumble by Cunningham, and Wayne Martin recovers the fumble. The Saints convert that fumble into a 42-yard Morton Anderson field goal after a 5-play, 44-yard drive, and the Saints were up 20-7, but would not score again. Eagles were 3 and out. Saints on a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Eric Allen stepped in front of a Bobby Hebert pass, and the Eagles go on to score on a Roger Ruzek 40-yard field goal that capped a 9-play, 39-yard drive. The Saints again on 3 and out. A punt away to Philadelphia. The Eagles take over at their own 36-yard line with the Saints up 20-10. Randall Cunningham drives his team 9 plays, 64 yards, and pulls the Eagles to within 3 on this scoring strike to Fred Barnett. Wide receivers left and right. Throwing the fade route down the far side sideline. A leap, a caught by Barnett. It's touchdown for the Eagles, and Barnett double covered, catches the ball, and the Eagles are now within 4. Make that 3 with the point after by Ruzek. Cunningham's 35-yard pass to Barnett. 10:37 remaining in the game, made it 20-17. Saints take over at their own 25-yard line after a good run back. Hebert on 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line goes back to pass and was intercepted by Seth Joyner, who ran it back 14 yards, and the Eagles turn that interception into a Sherman 6-yard touchdown run. 5 plays and 26 yards later, with 6:48 remaining in the game, the Eagles go up by a score of 24-20 with that Sherman 6-yard run. We'll tell you more of what happened in the second half on the wrap-up show after these messages. You're listening to Saints
O'Clock here on Q93. It's Sunday Night Oldies with A.D. Barry. Join us for lots of fun.
Just got put on injured reserve or want to stay in the game, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital can help. From ankles to the most complicated injuries. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital. Call 885-FITT. That's 885-3488.
When you come to Royal Oldsmobile, you don't have to wonder if you're getting the best deal or the best service anywhere. You can count on it. Royal is the dealership that's different. At Royal, we have 5 Oldsmobile master technicians. That's more than anybody in our Southeast region.
When you buy a car from Royal Oldsmobile, from selection to taking delivery of the car, it's going to be a pleasant experience because we're different.
Take it from the pros who know. Royal Oldsmobile, the dealership that's different.
Hi, C.J. Morgan here, star of C.J. and Company, and really big Saints fan. Many of you have asked if I write all my own funny material for the show. Well, the answer is actually no. You see, I have a professional comedy writer who works for me and me exclusively. And I'd have him say a few words right now, but he's not here today. His class had to take a field trip to the zoo, you understand. But for more music, more money, and more fun, check out C.J. and Company, mornings on your number 1, Q93.
The Saints are on Q93.
Welcome back to the Saints Network. The Saints had one final glimmer of hope, but you wouldn't think so. Taking over at their own 10-yard line, or their own 20 after a touchback, the Saints had a penalty, offensive pass interference on Eric Martin, so it was 1st and 20 from the 10. Bobby Hebert had an incomplete pass, 2nd and 20 from the 10. Hebert was then sacked by Reggie, or Hebert then lost yardage on a play on a swing pass that went to Vaughn Dunbar. They lost yardage 3 more on the swing pass, so it was 3rd down and 23 from the 7-yard line when Hebert was sacked by Reggie White in the end zone for a safety to make it 26-20. Now the Saints kicked off needing to hold Philadelphia to the 6-point lead instead of possibly a 9-point lead or another touchdown. Philadelphia begins to move down the field. They started at their own 38, an 11-yard run to Sherman. 1st and 10 at the 49. On 2nd and 4, a 16-yard run by Sherman. 1st and 10 at the Saints' 29-yard line. The Saints held, though, on 3rd down and 1 from the 20. Sherman given the handoff, and he was hit and stopped in the backfield by Pat Swilling and Ricky Jackson. It was 4th down and 3 from the 22-yard line. The Saints need to block the field goal or hope that it misses by Ruzek, but Ruzek came in and handed the Saints what would be one of the final nails in the coffin. It is a 39-yard field goal attempt.
He's just 6 for 13 this year on 40-49. If he misses this, the Saints will win.
Here comes the snap from Pat Beach with Fiegels to hold, a 29-yard field goal attempt. The ball is in the air, and it is good down the middle of the uprights. And the Eagles go up by 9, 29-20 with 2:36 remaining in the game. Ruzek's field goal was actually good from 39 yards. And to add insult upon injury, Hebert, 1st and 10 from the 16, had an incompletion after a kickoff run back from Newman to the 16-yard line. On 2nd and 10 from the 16, Eric Allen intercepted the ball again off the throw from Bobby Hebert. That was his 2nd interception of the second half. Allen returned the interception 18 yards for a score. That made it 36-20. The Saints tried to get down into a scoring
position in the final 2 minutes of the game, but could not do so, and that's the way it ends. 36-20. The Saints drop this one to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles play the Cowboys next week at Texas Stadium. The other playoff game has Washington going to San Francisco. Some final numbers. Heath Sherman, 21 carries, 105 yards. Philadelphia had 136 on the ground. Randall Cunningham was 19 of 35 for 219, including 2 touchdown passes today. Leading ground gainer for the Saints, Vaughn Dunbar, 4 carries for 28 yards. Dunbar did catch the ball 4 times for 49 yards. Hebert was 23 of 39 for 291. He threw 3 interceptions and had a touchdown pass as well. The Saints dropped this one today. The final score, Philadelphia winning the contest by a score of 36-20. Saints had more first downs, 20-19, than did Philadelphia. The Saints had more yardage, 360 compared to 349 for Philadelphia, but lose where it counts to fall to 12-5 on the year. Philadelphia goes to Dallas, also 12-5 on the year. We'll have Jim Morris, some more stats and player interviews in the locker room. Once again, the final score, Saints dropping this one this afternoon to the Philadelphia Eagles, 36-20. This is David Garrett speaking for Archie Manning and Jim Henderson, game producer Bob Carroll, our statistician Dale Jones, our spotter Grant McKinney, and in-studio producer Craig Logsdon. Vice President in charge of Clear Channel Sports is Tim West. Stay tuned for the Locker Room Show. This copyright broadcast was originated and produced by Clear Channel Sports Networks. Coming up next, our Locker Room Show presentation and interviews with Saints coaches and players here on the Saints Network.
Saints football on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network is proudly sponsored by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. By Popeye's Fried Chicken and Biscuits, an official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. By Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. By Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. By your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer. Remember, there's only one Jeep. By Pennzoil Motor Oil and Gum Out, available at all Walmart stores. By BC Headache Powder. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster. By Tabasco brand products, Tabasco Sauce, 7-Spice Chili, and Tabasco Bloody Mary Mix. They're Louisiana legends. By Isle of Capri and Biloxi. Isle of Capri for Caribbean-style fun and games. And in Louisiana, by the Louisiana Lottery. Now stay tuned for our visit in the Saints locker room. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football. Time to head to the locker room. The New Orleans Saints Network continues our exclusive live coverage of the Saints with interviews with the coaches and players in the Saints locker room.
Welcome back to our Locker Room Show. Saints dropping their final game of the 92-93 campaign, 36-20. 6 scores in a row for the Eagles in the final 16:01 in the game told the story today. Pat Swilling waits in the locker room as we go downstairs with Jim Henderson.
David, thank you very much. Pat Swilling's talking here with the press. Pat, was there any particular time that you felt it get away? It seemed to turn after that interception in the third quarter after you went up 20-7, and it looked like, and obviously from the scoreboard, you never got the momentum back.
Yeah, I think that was one of the times that the momentum sort of turned the other way, a 3rd-and-1 situation that we didn't pick up. I think that hurt us also. We lost a little bit there because I think they would have given us a first down, and after that, things kind of started really going bad for us.
You know, coming into this game, everybody was talking about Herschel Walker. You certainly stopped him, but Heath Sherman had another big day, didn't he?
He played well. Those 2 backs do a good job of complementing each other. They caught us in some defenses at some crucial times where we didn't get the force. We were playing some different defenses where they had us, me, and Ricky on the slot sometimes, and they were able to take advantage of that.
When you get in a situation like this and things start to snowball, does it go through your head or your team's head that here we go again in a similar situation? Because I think it probably goes through the fans.
Well, I don't think you can be 12-4 and be as good as we've been this year if you let those thoughts into your mind. You know, this is just one loss. We won 12 games this year, and guys feel good about that. This is only just one loss. That's all you can say.
But it's the kind of, it's most of the time what people remember about a team is the last game of the season, win or lose. There's only one winner, but to lose in this situation and lose the way you did, it's got to be a tough situation for everybody.
That's true, and I think most people or fans do remember the negativity or the negative thing that happened at the end of the year, and this is one of them. This is a loss, and it's something that will probably, stay with the Saints fans and players until next season starts. But I think we're going to reflect back and look at the 12-5 record and feel good about that.
It's Pat Swilling down in the Saints locker room. David?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. We'll have more in a moment after these network messages.
Tom Dempsey for Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
Dempsey kicks, it's on the way!
Most people remember me for that 63-yard field goal, but the things I remember most when I was kicking in other NFL cities was New Orleans' terrific food and that Louisiana legend Tabasco sauce. In fact, I came back to New Orleans to live and never stopped using those great Tabasco brand products. If you want to get that extra kick out of your favorite foods, do what the Dempseys do. Make Tabasco sauce a part of your lineup.
Let's take a look at some more stats. As we told you, the leading ground gainer today was Vaughn Dunbar. He had 4 carries, 28 yards, an average of 7 per carry, but the Saints only had 76 yards on the ground today. Hilliard, 3 carries, 7 yards. Hayward, 10 carries, 23 yards. Hebert, 3 scrambles for 18 yards. Vaughn Dunbar, 4 carries for 28 yards. Saints averaged 3.8 per rush. Hebert, 23 of 39 for 291. He had thrown 3 interceptions today. One of those interceptions returned for a touchdown. That was the final score of the game on the run back by Eric Allen. Hebert did have a touchdown pass thrown today to Quinn Early of 7 yards. Hayward with 3 receptions for 45. Early had 7 catches for 93. Eric Martin, 5 catches for 64. Hobie Brenner, 2 catches for 24. Dalton Hilliard, 1 catch for 10. He had to leave the ball game with a pinched nerve in his neck and never came back. Vaughn Dunbar had 4 catches for 49 yards, and Torrance Small had 1 reception for 6 for the 291. Tommy Barnhart averaged 45.3 on 3 punts today, and those are the stats offensively for the New Orleans Saints. Herschel Walker, 5 carries, 12 yards. That's the good news. The bad news, Heath Sherman, 21 carries for 105 yards, 5 yards per carry. Randall Cunningham had 2 carries for 19 yards, 136 on the ground for Philadelphia, 219 in the air as Cunningham was 19 of 35 passing. He also threw for 2 touchdown passes. Back downstairs we go with Jim Henderson, Coach Jim Mora.
Jim, 2 distinct halves of football. Obviously, when it went bad, it kept going bad and just steamrolled and snowballed, and you never really could get the momentum back after it changed.
It really did. That was the bad thing about it. You know, we had it going our way, and then they got it going their way, and bam, we just couldn't get it turned around. You know, and that's disappointing, but that happens in a football game sometimes, and you've got to keep fighting and keep trying, which our guys were doing. We just couldn't get it turned around our way.
Can you put your finger on any one thing in the second half that contributed to that?
Well, not really. I think the big play was Barnett down there was a good play for them. I think it was 3rd down, and then the turnovers by us certainly didn't help. You know, I think 3 interceptions in the second half that took the ball away from us, and we can't go down and score points, and it gives them the ball, it gives them momentum, gives them a lift, gives them some confidence, and you know, that kind of stuff's important in a game like this.
You took Herschel Walker out of it as you wanted to, but Heath Sherman had a big day, which he was fully capable of. You knew that going in, and he made some big runs at a time that really hurt you.
He's a good football player, and we knew that going into the game, that he's a good football player, a fine back, and had a lot of respect for him. And you know, I felt like we did a good job against the running game for most of the game, but from about the middle of the 3rd quarter on, or in the 4th quarter, you know, they started running the ball on us when they got ahead and needed to control. And they did a good job.
When you came in at halftime, what did you remind the team of what you were doing right in the first half that you wanted to continue?
Well, you know, our coaches always talk to their position groups and go over the good things and also things that where we need to do better and make some adjustments. And you know, I just told the team before we went out that we needed to keep playing hard like we were the first half and trying to win this thing in the second half. Just keep playing hard with a good effort and doing things the way we've been doing them.
When you went up 20-7, you seemed to have control of the game. Then that first down pass, the Bobby was picked off by Allen. They went down for the field goal, but after that, you were never able to score again, and the momentum never really came back to you after that one play.
Well, you're right, Jim. We just couldn't get it turned around, and that's, against a real good team like the Eagles, and they are an outstanding team. You got to find a way to get it back your way, you know, the momentum going back your way, and we couldn't do it, and as a result, we lost the football game. But again, I would like to say that our guys played their hearts out and just didn't work out our way today.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Okay.
Jim Mora down in the Saints locker room. David?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. 36-20, the Eagles over the Saints. Both teams are 12-5. That's the bad news, though, is the Saints finish 12-5, and the Eagles go on to Dallas next week. The Eagles, Dallas, Washington, San Francisco still alive in the playoff picture. More after these local messages. You're listening to Saints Football.
The
The Saints are on
Locker room
Q93.
show. Eagles win today, 36-20. Derek Kennard out of the lineup. Chris Port took his place. Chris Port is with Jim Henderson.
Chris, when did you know that you'd probably start and perhaps play this entire game?
Well, they told me earlier this morning before the game. I'd been practicing there all week, so I kind of had a feeling that I might play if Derek's ankle wasn't 100%.
That's a position you played last year, but not this year. Any problem getting back into that position?
No, I don't feel I had any problems with it. I got to work there some this week, so I was fresh and I knew the plays, and the experience last year helped a lot.
The question everybody is asking, and I'm not sure there is a real answer to it, but what happened in that second half after playing so well in the first half?
I can't really put a finger on it, but I think things just didn't fall into place for us. I think we had a couple drop balls. I don't know. I really couldn't put one thing in it. Maybe the blocking wasn't good. I don't know.
Can you feel it out on the field as the fans perhaps do upstairs in the stands when the momentum shifts and you're not able to recapture it? Could you feel the change in momentum that seemed to occur toward the end of the third quarter after the interception by Eric Allen?
Well, when they're the other team's getting excited and they're giving a little extra effort, but as far as our momentum goes, I think we take it one play at a time and try to keep an even keel and maybe even pick it up a bit in the second half.
You've not been here this long, but I think for many Saints fans, this is a very disheartening loss in that you came into this one with your best team probably in the franchise's history, and yet you suffer a defeat of this magnitude after playing so well in the first half. What can you say to the fans in that situation who say, well, here's a team that's gotten to the pinnacle again, but fallen short?
It's I don't know whether to say it's luck. I mean, they're a great team. We're also a really good team, and I think it was two tough teams playing each other in a tough game, and somebody's got to break, and someone's got to win the game. So I think everybody fought their heart out, and everybody gave it 100% effort. For the fans, we'll be a better team next year.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's Chris Porter, who went all the way at right guard today for the Saints. David?
All right, Jim, thank you very much. We'll have more after the Saints lose today by a score of 36-20. We're in the locker room show. Now these network messages. Welcome back to the Saints locker room show, and we'd like to thank everyone up and down the network lines for this first year of the Saints radio network. It's been a pleasure of broadcasting these Saints games to our Clear Channel affiliates in the entire Gulf South, from as far north as state of Oklahoma and the state of Missouri, and as far east as the state of Alabama and Florida as well, and as far west as Beaumont, Texas, and others. We've certainly enjoyed bringing you these games this year. We'll have some more stat updates and some defensive stats in a moment. Right now we go back downstairs. Jim Henderson is waiting with offensive line coach Paul Boudreau.
Paul, it is my task to ask questions to which there are probably no answers. At least no one's been able to ascertain as yet what happened in that second half, but I've got to ask you, what did happen in that second half from your perspective?
Well, the biggest part was the turnovers. We had 16 first downs the first half. We wound up 20 for the game, so, it was 14 first downs, I think, and we only got 6 in the second half. And when you turn the ball over, you got out of, we had 63 yards rushing. We finished the game with 76. You throw in the ball, and you turn it over on this defense, it sets up their offense. If their offense is struggling and they get the ball in plus territory, they get an easy score. They're kicking a field goal. So I think the worst thing that we did today was we didn't protect the ball, particularly in the second half.
What was the feeling like in the locker room after a near-perfect first half?
Well, the guys were talking. We talked about the game that happened this morning, being ahead like Houston was ahead, and we told them there was 2 halves of football, go out and play. We tried to figure out a few of the adjustments that would happen. They came after us a little bit the first half, and we picked up all the stuff that they gave us. They made some defensive adjustments. We were trying to counter them at halftime, but I think, what happened was we simply didn't protect the football, and when we had a chance to make a play, we didn't make a play, and it was to the credit of their defense. They did a heck of a job.
The Saints get criticized so often for being conservative, and we mentioned upstairs.
I heard that.
Well, you probably will. But when you go up, you're up 20-7, and at a time where maybe you're thinking about protecting that lead a little bit, or at least the fans are. The first down pass on 1st and 10 and the interception by Allen probably to a lot of people would have seemed uncharacteristic of the Saints, but in your behalf, you're trying to get another score and truly put this one away.
Well, the scheme of defense that they were playing, we went in the first half and they started the game off in regular defensive personnel when we had 3 wideouts in. And then all of a sudden they get out of that and got into their nickel scheme, and we started to run a little bit on them. And then the second half they went back to regular 7-man front, so they had us outnumbered, and we figured, well, if we're going to run, we're going to run when they're putting a nickel in the game, and we figured we'd play past them a little bit and try to get them to come up and support the run, and then that unfortunately was a bad decision, and they picked it off and had a hell of a play.
How badly does this one hurt, given the fact that you guys came into this at the better in health than you have in recent years in the playoffs, and with a team that was probably the best team the Saints have ever taken to the playoffs, and to lose in such a devastating fourth quarter manner? What does that do for the coaching staff and you and the players, especially the veteran ones?
Well, there's nothing you can do as far as wait until next year, the old theme, but you have to sit back and evaluate what went wrong and what you can do to correct it. If you sit there and then you start pointing fingers and say it's the players or we should have done this and should have done that, you try to improve, whether it's by scheme of things, how you handle situations, how to protect the lead. That's what you try to do in the off season. That's why you try to be productive and move on. You don't win 12 games in the National Football League by just sitting back and just waiting for the draft. You try to figure out to build a better mousetrap, and we're going to have to do that, and if you sit back there and the players, feel like, hey, this is it, we're going to win 12 games every year, it doesn't happen that way. You got to work at it, and we've had for 6 or 7 years here, we've had a good group of players, and they've met the challenge. They went on to the next week, and we expect them to do the same. And if they don't, then we're going to struggle, But I think that room in there, the kind of guys they have in that room, we expect them to come back and rebound from this. And it's a tough pill to swallow. Nobody likes to lose, and but we've won a lot of football games in the last 6 or 7 years, and that's something that this group is proud of. Whether the people out there are saying we can't go to the next level, that's their opinion. But this group in this room feels like, hey, we're in the next level, and we're going to just take it again next year and take a shot at it.
Thank you very much, Paul.
All right, Jim.
It's Paul Boudreau, the offensive line coach of the Saints. David?
Thank you, Jim. We'll have more in a moment after these local messages. You're listening to Saints Football. Welcome back. Some defensive stats. Each team had only 1 sack today. Ricky Jackson had the only sack. He had forced a fumble as well. His sack was for a 6-yard loss and that forced fumble, and that happened at the first of the third quarter, and it looked as though it continued the Saints' momentum, but was not to be today. Defensive leader in tackles, Vaughn Johnson had 7 solo tackles, no assist, to lead all of the tacklers today. Ricky Jackson with 5 total tackles, and Reggie Jones had 6 total tackles. Not a lot. We don't give defensive stats a lot, but we will here today. Leading tackler for the opposition was a defensive back today. John Booty at free safety led all tacklers in the game with 10 total, and also Byron Evans, who leads Philadelphia in tackles with 152 coming into today, had 9 as well. Jim, this is a very bad taste that will stay around for a very long time, and I guess it will stay here until that first preseason game, or maybe even the first regular season game of 1993.
David, I think it'll stick around until the Saints get back to the playoffs and win a game. I really do. That's the difficult thing about this situation, is the greater expectations that you have. Given the success the Saints have recently had, they've gotten into this position before only to fall short. When they did so again today, and in such a devastating manner, especially in the fourth quarter, I don't think the fans are going to forget about this until they get into this situation again and win one.
Of course, the Saints are dropping this game. It's even probably more distasteful because of the 6 scores in a row by Philadelphia late in the contest. The Saints were still in it even after Sherman's 6-yard touchdown run, and really even when Hebert was sacked by Reggie White, down 26-20. But the Saints had stopped the drive. Ruzek did not stop the drive, though, in the ensuing possession. Sherman had runs of 11 and 16 yards, and want to point fingers at the defense. At that point in the ball game, though, you could just see how magnified momentum shifting is in this ball game.
Yes, and maybe in some ways this is not as bitter a pill initially to swallow, because it didn't occur on a last-second score by the Eagles to nip you in a hard-fought game. But I think in the long run, this is a more discouraging loss, and that people see how far this team has to go in so many areas to get over the hump. You know, when you look at a near total collapse in the fourth quarter, and that's pretty much what it was, that's a situation that is going to cause the fans to look askance at every area of this team, and rightly so, until they climb the mountain again and this time get to its pinnacle. They've gotten to this level before, and they've been unable to take the next step. The Eagles have been accused of that as well. They were able to do it today. The doubts will persist about the Saints until they do it.
Jim, needs in the draft, I would think offensive line, tight end as well. Of course, that's part of the offensive line.
Yes, I think that's probably an area that they'll probably look at first of all, with some age on that offensive line, in particular at right tackle with Stan Brock. We don't know how many more years he has. I think offensive line would probably be the area that the Saints would look in first of all. I think in probably their first 4 or 5 picks, they would address the age problem at tight end. And then somewhere along the line, they've got to get a greater contribution from their special teams, although today Vaughn Dunbar and Patrick Newman certainly had good days on special teams for the Saints. That wasn't what hurt them today. The return game certainly didn't hurt them and helped them to a great extent. But with a team that usually doesn't score a lot of points, as the Saints don't, that's magnified when you can't contribute on special teams to get good field position or perhaps produce a score, and the Saints really haven't had any help in that area all year long, so that's got to be looked at. But, you know, off a loss like this, that's one of those things, too, that every area of the team, I think, bears greater scrutiny when you get defeated like they did today. When you look back on this game, I'm sure a lot of guys, as some of the Saints players and coaches have said, fought their hearts out, but I think from the fan standpoint, they see Ricky Jackson and the effort that he put in today. But other than that, and some help from Vaughn Dunbar, I don't know if you can really look at anybody else on the team, apart from Morton Anderson perhaps and Tommy Barnhart in their limited roles, who truly played their best games under the kind of pressure here today.
Jim, 12-5 is no failing season by any stretch of the imagination, and although there will be a bad taste after this one, and we'll just have to wait and see if the Saints can improve on it next year. It's certainly been a pleasure working with you and Archie. I appreciate your professionalism and look forward to 1993 as well after training camp, and we get together for that first preseason game.
David, this has really been a fun year for me to be back on the broadcast, and you've made it a lot of fun as well. It's always great to work with Archie, and I look forward to better days ahead.
All right, more after these network messages. Saints fall short to the Eagles, 36-20, the final score, and the final 16 minutes and 1 second of the ball game saw the Eagles score 6 straight times. The Saints could put nothing on the scoreboard, and the Eagles erased a 20-7 deficit to win it today by a score of 36-20. Saints had more yards in total offense and even averaged more per offensive play. 360 yards in total offense, 6 yards per play, to the Eagles' 349 yards in total offense, 5.5 yards per play. Eagles had more rushing yards, 136-76. Saints had more passing yards, 284-213. But Hebert throws 3 interceptions today and 2 touchdown passes tossed today, both to Fred Barnett by quarterback Randall Cunningham, along with great interceptions, great plays today. Eric Allen had 2 interceptions and Seth Joyner had 1. Allen returns 1 for a touchdown, and the Eagles come out on top on the scoreboard, 36-20. That's today's Locker Room Show. Our thanks to Jim Henderson and our producer Robert Carroll. Stay tuned for the Scoreboard Show with Doug Joubert on many of these Saints radio network stations. Final score once again, Saints finish 12-5. The Eagles continue at 12-5. It was Philadelphia over the Saints, 36-20. The magic carpet lands here today in the Superdome. This is David Garrett from the Louisiana Superdome saying goodbye, everybody.
Q93, Fox 38, and Club Taboo are making you a star. If you missed it last week, don't miss it this week. It's the video shooting of New Orleans Jazz. It's New Orleans' fresh new video show that airs each and every Sunday at 5 p.m. on Fox 38. The best thing is that it stars you. You can watch yourself on TV and see the freshest videos out today. Join the entire Q crew Sunday evening at Club Taboo, 1600 St. Charles Avenue, for the taping of New Orleans Jam. You are a star. And remember, the camera doesn't lie. So we'll see you Sunday for the taping of New Orleans Jams with your number 1, Q93. The Saints are on Q93.
The New Orleans Saints Network continues game day coverage with the latest scores and reports from the National Football League on the Saints scoreboard.
Welcome to our New Orleans studios. I'm Doug Joubert, and unfortunately for Saints fans, it's a day that they will not soon forget, as Philadelphia scores 29 unanswered points in the second half to defeat the New Orleans Saints 36-20 in the NFC wildcard playoff game. The Saints are the only National Football League team without a postseason victory. Saints snapped a 5-game postseason losing streak themselves, and now they'll face the Dallas Cowboys next Sunday in a divisional playoff game. When we return, we'll take a look at the other games that went on today and this weekend in the NFL. That's next on the Saints Scoreboard Show. You're listening to Saints Football.
Hi there, all you night owls. I'm Q93's Uptown Angela each weeknight, Tuesday through Thursday from 2 a.m. to 5:30, inviting you to hang out with me. We'll play all your favorite jams for you, do some music requests, and we'll have a great time with the AM Forum, where you'll never know what you'll hear. What do you think is sexy? What's the worst lie you've ever been told by your lover? Would you marry for money? Where's the wildest place you've ever got busy? Yeah. See what I mean? You don't want to miss this. It's definitely worth staying up for. It's the show all your friends are going to be talking about and the most fun you'll have overnight. It's the All Night Long Show with yours truly, Uptown Angela, on your number one, Mo Music, Mo Money, Q93.
There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
Hi, New Orleans. Q93's LBJ here, inviting you to listen to the Oldies All Request Lunch Hour. It's like our favorite part of the day here. Give us a call, 260-9393 or 1-800-364-9393. It breaks the monotony at lunchtime. The Oldies All Request Lunch Hour.
Q93. It's Sunday Night Oldies with A.D. Barry. Join us for lots of fun.
Welcome back to the Saints Scoreboard Show. Doug Joubert from our New Orleans studios as the New Orleans Saints end up with a short end of the stick, 36-20 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Some quick stats for you. New Orleans ended up passing for 284 yards, but threw 3 interceptions, did Bobby Hebert. Hebert 23 of 39 for 200. All told, 91 yards. It ended up being 284. Randall Cunningham was perfect. Didn't throw an interception. 19 of 35 play, and from then on, Philadelphia never looked back. Saints were up by a 20-7 count at one time in this ball game, and then 29 unanswered points by the Philadelphia Eagles put them up to stay. The final score: Philadelphia 36, New Orleans 20. In other games, there was one earlier today, and it was the greatest comeback in the history of the NFL playoffs. Steve Christie kicks a 32-yard field goal 3 minutes and 6 seconds into overtime that gave the Buffalo Bills a 41-38 victory over the Houston Oilers. The Bills scored 5 second-half touchdowns to rally from a 32-point third-quarter deficit, including 4 touchdown passes by Frank Reich, who played in place of the injured Jim Kelly. San Francisco rallied from a 28-point deficit to defeat New Orleans in a regular season game back in 1980. The greatest comeback in postseason history was by Detroit, which rallied from 20 points down to edge San Francisco back in 1957. But this comeback victory by the Buffalo Bills, the greatest in NFL history. The final score in overtime: Buffalo 41, Houston 38. When we come back, we'll check yesterday's scores next. The final score here: Philadelphia 36, New Orleans 20. You're listening to the Saints Network.